This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye, home run.
Home of champions.
It was a beautiful day here in the Tampa Bay area, which has turned into a gorgeous evening, which means it should be a perfect night for baseball. As tonight, the YES Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's going to be the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Hi, everybody. I'm Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty and Tito Martinez tonight. Well, this is the time of spring when the teams have to get their acts together. They're looking for the players, the starters, to get their games going. And one man in the fifth spot in the order for the Yankees this year, Robinson Cano, is really coming on.
He sure is, and he certainly earned that spot to be the number 5 hitter. The reason why, Kenny, is he hits both left-handed pitchers and right-handed pitchers well. He stays behind the ball. He uses the whole field. He's capable of hitting home runs to left field, right field, doubles, and he doesn't strike out a lot. He puts together solid at-bats every single game, and he's going to be a major threat hitting behind Alex Rodriguez this year to really make that lineup a force.
This is what he's done this spring. Robinson Cano hitting .455, 10 for 22, 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in, and 4 runs scored. Let's turn to the pitching matchup tonight. Our Verizon Fios pitching matchup. Carlos Hernandez, 29-year-old left-hander on the mound for the Rays, and Javier Vasquez gets the start for the Yankees. He's 1-0 thus far this spring. Well, Javier Vasquez came over to the Yankees in a trade with the Atlanta Braves. And what do you like about him, Flash? He seems to be getting the job done.
Now, there's a lot of things to like about Javier Vasquez. You mentioned coming over from the National League. He was second in that league in strikeouts last year. He's got a good fastball. He can locate it on the outside half. He's got swing and miss stuff. A lot of strikeouts. The other thing the Yankees are going to love, he eats up innings. You can lock him down for at least 200 innings a year. Yankees will have him in the number 4 slot in the rotation. Should get a lot of wins there.
Well, prior to the game tonight, the Yankees were going through their paces, getting ready for the game. Derek Jeter taking grounders. Curtis Granderson taking his swings in the cage. And yes, tonight's game is coming along in just a moment.
Years ago, the world was faced with a challenge. And Lexus responded by building the world's first luxury hybrid. Today, Lexus has 4 hybrid models on the road, including the HS, the most fuel-efficient of all luxury vehicles. Lease the 2010 HS250H for $399 a month for 36 months, with $700 due at signing.
The Navy leapfrogs. And I'll tell you one thing, it'll be a long time before you get me to do something like that.
No chance, Kenny. I would never jump out of a plane.
But look at it. I thought it was only one man to a parachute, or one person to a parachute.
We watched that plane circling before the game with that little hatch open, and we just talked about, can you imagine just staring out of that little hatch, John, and thinking about jumping out of a plane into a little stadium here with this serious wind blowing?
There's no chance, like you said.
Well, Javier Vasquez will get the start as we go back to baseball. We'll start for the Yankees tonight, and he'll be facing the Rays starting lineup presented by BMW. Jason Bartlett will lead it off. He'll be at shortstop. Carl Crawford, 2009 against the Yankees, 323, 6 extra base hits, 5 runs batted in, 10 runs scored, 4 stolen bases, and even sold programs. Ben Zobrist will be in right field. Carlos Pena will be the cleanup hitter at first base. Willie Ibar at third. B.J. Upton in center field. Pat Burrell will be the designated hitter. Red hot Sean Rodriguez will be the second baseman, and Deoner Navarro will do the catching and bat ninth.
Take a look at Javier Vasquez, going to make his 3rd start of spring training. Been impressive early on.
All right, now it is time for baseball. Here's the first pitch of the night, and it's in there for a call strike.
Take a look at a scouting report on Javi Vasquez, and here's the numbers from last year with the Atlanta Braves. Outstanding ERA 2.87, 181 hits and 219 in the 3rd innings.
Bartlett, ground ball to the right side for Cano, who bobbles, recovers, throws to first in time for the out.
Now here's a scouting report that we're looking forward to. Robbie Cano has a big smile on his face. This will be the third start of many the Yankees hope for. 32 starts last year. He has swing and miss stuff. 238 strikeouts. It was second in the National League last year. And Javier Vasquez looking for 4 innings or maybe 65 pitches tonight.
Here's the number 2 hitter, the exciting Carl Crawford. All-star Carl takes the first pitch, maybe a little inside for ball 1. Crawford, a 3-time All-Star.
One of the great things about Javier Vasquez is he just attacks the zone. He goes right after the hitters, throws strikes right away, and doesn't fall behind very often.
Next pitch is in there for a called strike. We mentioned during our open that this is the time of spring training when the regulars like to get their acts going, and Carl Crawford's going a little slowly this spring. He's hitting 176 as he steps into this at bat. Breaking ball is fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2.
See Carl Crawford look like he beefed up a little bit in the winter. Free agent year. A lot of talk about if the Rays can sign him to come back or maybe go out on the market and see what he would command. Looks like he's in great shape.
You think that beefing up might slow him down?
I wonder if he's looking for a little more power. I mean, that's really been the only part of his game that hasn't really come on. Maybe try to hit 20+ home runs this year, but always a guy who can fly, steal bases.
60 stolen bases a year ago for Carl Crawford. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's swung on and miss. A weak swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch for out number 2. Fans, the Yankees defensive alignment is brought to you by the Home Depot. Doing more on defense. Let's look at the defense from left to right in the outfield. It's going to be Wynn, Granderson, and Swisher. In the infield, Pena, who made 14 starts at third base last year for the Yankees. Jeter at short, Cano at second, Miranda at first tonight. Jorge Posada does the catching for Javier Vasquez. So 2 up and 2 down. It'll bring up Ben Zobrist, who was last year's Rays MVP. And kind of a surprise MVP. He came out of nowhere to make the All-Star team. Had a very good season. And he's done pretty well this spring with hitting .316. Switch hitter. Can play just about anywhere. Pitch is fouled back, and the count is even at a ball on a strike.
Not only can he play anywhere, Kenny, but he plays all the positions well. Third, second, outfield. They're not losing any defense by having him in right field, second base, or short. He plays them all very well, as if he's played there his whole life.
Well, he started 7 different positions last year. And tonight he's in right field. We've seen him at second base this spring. 1-1 pitch, fouled at the home plate area, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And this is what made him the Rays team MVP and an All-Star. 297, 27 homers. Look at that on-base percentage. 405. On base 41% of the time. Up there with a closed stance. Vasquez tried to hit the outside corner, and it evens the count at 2-2. Now, Flash, Vasquez has a legitimate 4 different pitches that he can throw.
He does. I mean, the good fastball, he'll have a little sinker, a curveball, cutter, and a changeup. And the difference with him, he changes speeds on his off-speed pitches, so really tough to get a good swing on him.
Little bouncer down the first base side. The ball's going to remain fair. Miranda has it, steps on the bag, and an easy inning for Javier Vasquez as the Rays go 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. They do not score, and the Yankees are coming to the plate. Kind of a cool evening tonight. Tampa Bay did not score against Javier Vasquez in the top half of the inning. Now to the bottom half, and the Yankees turn to hit. And tonight's Yankees starting lineup is presented by Lexus, and they'll be facing Carlos Hernandez. Derek Jeter at the top. Curtis Granderson will bat second in center field. Nick Swisher, 8 home runs against the Rays last year. They saw enough of him. Jorge Posada will be doing the catching, batting cleanup. Robinson Cano, get used to it. He'll probably be in the 5th spot in the order on opening day. Marcus Thames will be the DH. Randy Wynn will be in left field. Juan Miranda at first tonight. And Ramiro Pena rounds out the lineup. He'll be at third base.
Yankee lineup is going to go to work against Carlos Hernandez. You see the numbers last year. AAA Durham, 7-6 with a 3.29. Impressive numbers. And we'll look at a scouting report for the left-hander Hernandez. He's a substitute starter tonight. The Rays were supposed to start Matt Garza, but they did not want to show him to the Yankees at this point in spring training. And Hernandez has been battling shoulder problems the last couple of years. He finally had a healthy season last year where he made 21 starts for AAA Durham.
You're right about not bringing Garza up from Port Charlotte. Manager Joe Madden feels that they play enough American League East teams here on the west coast of Florida and doesn't want to show off his pitchers to everybody else. So Carlos Hernandez gets the start tonight. The first pitch to Derek Jeter's up and away for ball one. Jeter hits this one hard off of Bartlett. He can't handle the hot shot. We'll see how they score that, and Jeter's going to be safe at first. Well, quickly, let's check out the Rays defensive alignment, brought to you by Home Depot. Doing more on defense. In the outfield, it's going to be the speedy Crawford, the equally speedy Upton in center. Zobrist will be in right. Ibar at third, Bartlett at short, Rodriguez at second, Pena at first, Navarro doing the catching for Hernandez. And that is going to be an error on the shortstop. That's a tough one to take, huh, Tino?
That's a bullet right there off his chest. He did the best he could just to stop the ball.
First pitch to Curtis Granderson is a called strike. Well, that ate him up. Another look at it as the ball bounds into center field. Pitch to Granderson, popped in the air to center field. Drifting back is Upton. He covers a lot of ground out there and makes the catch for out number one. Let's look at game time weather conditions presented by Toyota. Kind of a chilly evening. How about this? We're supposed to be in Florida, right? The Bronx, 61 degrees today, and Tampa, Florida, only 59. Can't get to opening day quickly enough. One out, one on. It'll bring up Nick Swisher. Talking to Kevin Long, the Yankees hitting coach, prior to the game, and he was singing the praises of Nick Swisher.
Nick's been working hard all spring. I've been watching him in the batting cages quite a bit, and from both sides of the plate, he's really trying to stay behind the ball and hit the ball the opposite way. So he's been doing a very good job all spring with that, and that's one thing he's been working on. Instead of pulling the ball too much, he's thinking about using the whole field a little more to get his average up a little higher this year.
Well, last year with the Yankees, he had 249, but he did have power. 29 home runs, 82 runs batted in. It was the fifth straight season he's hit 20 or more home runs. Toss to first to check on Jeter.
Well, when you look at Nick Swisher, it looks like he spread his feet out a little bit, and the swing this spring training just looks a lot simpler than it did last year. And you wonder, can he keep that going all the way through the season? I know, Tino, I would come to spring training and try to find that one key, or that one mechanical key that would lock me in. Looks like Nick Swisher has found it.
Pitch is low and in the dirt, knocked down by Navarro, and that'll run the count to a ball and a strike on Nick Swisher. Swisher having a good spring, hitting 300 on the nose.
You're right, John. Sometimes when you go with a shorter stride, you tend to see the ball a little bit longer, and you get a better look at the pitches. So when you have a big leg kick, sometimes you get out of whack, and it's hard to find your swing. But when you keep it short and compact, it's a lot easier to get yourself going early in the season.
Hernandez misses outside. The count is 2-1. There is Kevin Long, and he's having a discussion with Nick Johnson, one of the newer Yankees. Second time around for Nick with the ball club. Kevin Long wasn't here the first time, though. Swisher hits a bouncing ball towards the middle, on into center field for a base hit. Jeter will stop at second as Upton comes up with the ball, and the Yankees have two men on with one man out here in the bottom of the first inning. Swisher continues his good hitting.
Well, you can see Nick talking about coming around the ball a little bit, but still with the lack of a big stride, you can see it's pretty short, deliberate. The foot goes down, and then you just use the hands. And this wasn't his A swing, but had enough on it, a little top spin. Going to drive that ball right back up the middle.
Maybe not his A swing, but a hit, and you'll take that every time. Batting in the fourth spot tonight is Jorge Posada, who's having himself quite a spring. Posada hitting at .421 this spring. Mark Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez, the Yankees' usual 3 and 4 hitters, have the night off. Pitch to Posada, and that is low for ball one.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel. I know, Kenny, I've talked to you about this a little bit. You wanted to get a hit every time up, but when you're putting up these numbers, .421, it's almost like I want to slow down a little bit. Maybe go through a little bit of a struggle and then get back on track at the last week of spring training.
Look at the on-base percentage. .476. Little bouncer foul. No, I want to hit all the time. I mean, just from the opening day of spring training to the last day, you get to the World Series, get a hit as many as you can.
Yeah, you want to feel good. You want to see the ball good. You know, put the barrel of the bat on the ball throughout the spring, and you do want to have results. You want to get your hits here and there just to keep your average respectable, what you want to feel as best you can possibly feel going into April.
My whole idea of the year was to get on base 40% of the time. Posada has a good swing, but fouls it off to the right. The count is 1-2.
Well, I'm just thinking back to spring trainings that I had. I think the best spring I ever had was the worst start to the season I ever had. And I never went through any struggles in spring training, so when the struggles happened during the year, I didn't know how to fix it. But whatever Kevin Long is telling Nick Johnson, keep doing it, because Nick has had a great spring so far.
Great spring. He's hitting the ball well to all fields. Bullets to left center in the gap, home runs to right field. He's just having outstanding at-bats.
Off-speed pitch is pulled foul. What you see there is the relationship that a hitting coach will have with his hitters, and the pitching coach has with the pitchers as well. And as a catcher, John, you have to fall somewhere in between, don't you?
Well, the fun part was talking hitting with a hitting instructor. The not so fun part was talking pitching with a pitcher.
There is Jim Hickey, who has done a great job with the Tampa Bay Rays. He is their pitching coach. He's been there for a few seasons. And he's looking at Carlos Hernandez on the mound tonight. Hernandez will not be one of the 5 starters for the Rays this year. Off-speed pitch, I should say a fastball upstairs, strikes out Posada for out 2. Might have chased one out of the strike zone.
This fastball right here, a little bit up in the zone. Jorge did chase a little bit right here. Close pitch, though. You rarely see Jorge go out of the zone for strike 3, but he's been swinging the bat well. Not a bad swing right there, just bad pitch selection.
You can see his reaction. He knew he chased one.
Hernandez a little credit there. He threw a bunch of pitches down in the zone and changed that eye level, able to ride the fastball up.
And we talked about it in the open. Tino, you mentioned that the Yankees are looking at Cano to hit in the 5th spot, and here he is with a man in scoring position. He struggled in these situations last year. You see his spring training numbers. They have been outstanding. Has a good swing there and fouls a pitch straight back.
He's been hitting both lefties and righties, like we talked about in the opener, very well in spring training here. And the thing about him is we talk about being more patient, and that doesn't necessarily mean don't swing at the first pitch. We want him to be aggressive, swing at the first pitch. We just want him to attack strikes in the zone with men on base.
Do you think maybe shortening up the plate, like looking for something maybe middle in early or middle away early, and be aggressive on that side of the plate, but taking the other side?
Foul tipped into the glove of Navarro, and it's 0-2.
I guess what I'm saying, have a better game plan.
Better game plan, absolutely. I just think what happens to Robinson is he's such a good hitter, and he feels like he can hit any pitch in the zone, whether it's in, up, or out, or down. You know what I'm saying? He feels that he can put any ball and play hard, and that's where he gets into trouble. This high ball here didn't quite catch up to that one, but in his mind, he thought he could.
Well, now Hernandez is in the driver's seat with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And that is a teaser, but it's outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Now, Cano last year had 75 extra base hits. That was 5th in the American League, so he has the power to be a number 5 hitter. A career high 25 home runs. You can see in 07 he drove in 97 runs, so the capability is there for him to drive in 100 runs if he can improve with runners in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch, and it's called strike 3. So Hernandez gets out of it by striking out Posada and then Cano. The Yankees leave 2 runners here in the bottom of the 1st. At the end of 1, no score here in Tampa.
Now you've got a front row seat at the greatest rock performances of all time. Time Life presents the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Live. 3D.
About last September when he was hit by a pitch by CC Sabathia at Yankee Stadium and broke 2 fingers on his left hand, and he missed the remainder of the season. Even the fact that he missed the last 25 games, he tied with Mark Teixeira for the league leading home runs with 39, and he came up again after he was hit, and the next at bat he had to leave, and that was it for the season. He fractured 2 fingers on his left hand, and here he is back in action again. In his free agent season, you can see he's wearing a guard on that left hand. Here's Javier Vasquez, bottom of the top of the 2nd inning, no score. Here, George M. Steinbrenner Field. First pitch is high and away, ball 1. That interview was actually done by Kim Jones, who made her first appearance of the spring, and she will be appearing later on during the ball game, and we look forward to it. Next pitch is swung on and fouled back. Now, Payne is having a slow spring. He is 0 for 21. He does not have a hit this spring.
It just goes to my point of last inning. He's having a John Flaherty type spring. You start off slow and then you work. See, he's smiling about it. He's got nothing to worry about.
Of course he's going to make the team.
Those are the kind of guys that do. They come out and hit like 450 in April right out the gate after doing 0 in spring training.
You can see this new contraption he's wearing. He fouls one straight back to the screen, 1 and 2. And, you know, when you're not used to it, you know, I don't know. Can it affect your hitting?
Oh, it definitely might have something to do with his struggles, but I would think if he's feeling it when he's up at the plate, he's going to get rid of that guard.
Yeah.
You got to find something else.
I almost think that he can go without that guard. I know he broke his hand last year, and it's easy for me to say it's not my hand, but it's in a tough spot to get hit. I mean, for that top hand to get hit in front, you've really got to spin off the ball, facing the pitcher to get hit in your knuckles there. It's a tough area where the chances of him getting hit in that spot again are pretty slim.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Vasquez just missed with the last pitch. Pena did something last year. Had 107 hits and 100 runs batted in. That's kind of tough to do. That's a lot of production with such few hits. Pitches fouled off.
That's one of those balls there that if it was a little further in, you could have hit him in that spot again.
Boy, what are the odds of that, right, Tino?
I mean, come on. I mean, that's similar to how he got hit last year, except the ball was at his body and he turned into it with his hands.
Well, we got that good side shot. You can see his stride was really long. I don't remember him being that big of a strider.
2-2 pitch. All speed pitch, maybe change up outside. The count has run full at 3-2.
Could have something to do with why he's struggling in spring training. And check out again the stride from the side. You'll see that front foot and see how far it travels. Pena, when he's at his best, is really sitting on that back leg. You can see the body weight is already shifting. And you're kind of speeding up the velocity of the baseball there. It's probably why he struggled.
Yeah, all that tells me is he's just not picking up the ball real well right now, and it's just a matter of getting some more at-bats in before spring training ends.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled at the home plate area. The count remains 3-2. I think you're right about that, Flash, because to me, when he's at his best, he just raises that front foot up, puts it right back down. There's not much of a stride at all. He has been a power source for the Rays. He's been there 3 years. He's averaged 38 home runs a year. And not only hitting home runs, he gets them a long way. Once again, the payoff pitch. And it's swung on, hit high in the air to deep right center field. Going back is Granderson. He looks up, and this one is gone. The drought is over for Carlos Pena. He gets his first hit of the spring, and it's for the distance. And it gives the Rays a 1-0 lead.
Got a fastball up in the zone, it looked like from here. As you can see, John, you're right. He probably sat back a little longer. His backside didn't come out. Stayed back long enough. Good extension. Drove off that backside and knocked it out of the park.
And Granderson's the last one to get a look at it. Here's Willie Ibar.
Good swing here. Rocks back on his backside. Stays back. Didn't drift forward. That ball's middle away and just stayed back with good balance. And as soon as he hit it, he knew it.
Breaking ball drops over the outside corner, 1-1. Ibar is sort of a utility type player for these Rays. He's playing third base tonight. Evan Longoria, one of the young stars of the game, or Major League Baseball, did not make the trip tonight. Pitches outside, 2 balls and a strike. Ibar can play. We've seen him at second. We've seen him at short, I think. He's a switch hitter, first base, and he's also can play third. So just about every infield position. He's been bothered by a sore wrist. 2-1 pitch, and that's outside, ball 3. 3-1.
Jorge Posada going to go out and have a little talk with Javier Vasquez. I think he's opening up a little bit too quick. It's probably what Jorge is telling him, but take a look here. Posada setting up away. That front shoulder just leaves a little bit early, and you see that ball kind of riding away. Good job by Posada trying to get on top of it here early and get it straightened out.
Puerto Rican battery tonight. Vasquez from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Pitch is fouled off, kind of a weak swing by Ibar, and the count is full at 3-2.
You know, you watch these spring training games, and you have the Yankees and the Rays obviously in the same division. And Javier Vasquez, Jorge Posada, they're going to pitch guys differently during the year than they will in spring training. Ibar got a 3-1 fastball pretty much middle of the plate. Pena got a 3-2 fastball, probably won't happen.
Pitch is fouled off once again. And Flash, we're getting to the point of spring training. Only a few weeks to go before the regular season starts. Should the pitchers be, they're throwing just about all their pitches now. You know, the first time through, maybe not too many breaking balls. But you're getting to the point now where you should be getting your act together.
Yeah, you should be going about 4 or 5 innings. And I think most importantly, Kenny, getting your legs underneath you where you feel like you can go deep into a ball game and not get fatigued.
3-2 pitch hit hard towards short. Jeter has it on a couple of hops across the diamond to Miranda, and there's one out here in the top of the second inning. So after the home run by Pena, Vasquez bounces back to get Ibar on a 3-2 pitch, and it'll bring up B.J. Upton, the center fielder. Upton didn't have the year last year that he had the previous season. He might be a candidate for comeback player of the year. He's got the tools.
We talked about Nick Swisher's stride. We talked about Carlos Pena's stride. One thing Derek Shelton has worked with B.J. Upton is shortening his stride. He used to have a huge leg kick and really chase pitches out of the zone, and he's really worked on having him shorten that stride up, stay nice and compact, pick that foot up, put it right back down, and that's what he's been working on in spring training, and Derek Shelton says he's really been hitting the ball well with it.
There is Derek Shelton, who is in his first year as the hitting coach of the Tampa Bay Rays. He had been with the Cleveland Indians for a number of seasons, and prior to that he had actually been a manager in the Yankees organization. And prior to that, he had been a player in the Yankees organization. In fact, he told me a couple of years ago he was always referred to back in his minor league days as the other Derek. You can see the difference in Upton batting average from 08 to 09. He's had some shoulder problems. In fact, he had some surgery. But he should be healthy this year and ready to go.
Well, the Rays are really excited about what they can do in this division. A lot is going to depend on how Upton plays this year.
High riding fastball, and the count is 2-2.
Remember the postseason in 08, he was on fire, and you said, wow, this guy's now going to take it to the next level. Joe Madden, manager of the Rays, looking on.
Madden in his 5th year as the Rays manager, their all-time winningest manager. Some would tell you that didn't take too much to do, but he's done it. Breaking ball, Posada thought it was strike 3, but instead it's a little bit low, and the count is full at 3-2.
You know, Tino, I just watched Upton take that pitch right there. Not a bad pitch, a strikeout pitch, and you could tell he's seeing the ball well because he didn't even flinch.
He's seen the ball well. He's worked hard all season. He wants to show that last year was a fluke and that he is one of the top players in the game.
3-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit in the inner center field, hit pretty well, but Granderson has it measured, and now it's in the glove for out number 2. Curtis Granderson. Pitched a fly ball from his opposite number. Rays center fielder B.J. Upton. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Pat Burrell. There's another player who's got some bouncing back to do. And the Rays are counting on him to have a better year. You can see what he's done so far this spring. He has a homer, 3 runs batted in. First pitch is fouled back. The Rays signed him as a free agent, coming over from the Philadelphia Phillies. And that's what he did last season. They were hoping for much more than that, than 14 home runs, 64 runs batted in. A low batting average and a low on-base percentage. But now he's seen the pitchers in the American League. Fastball misses inside, and it's a ball and a strike.
I guess that's the reason the Rays are so optimistic about this year. If Burrell can come back, B.J. Upton comes back. They have a new closer in Soriano. I mean, they have a very balanced ball club, good pitching staff, young staff.
Burrell takes, call strike 2, 1-2.
Probably argue that they're a more balanced ball club than the Boston Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox made a lot of changes with the pitching staff and the defense.
You know, a lot of it for the Rays is how the bullpen shapes up. I think they got a legitimate closer in Rafael Soriano. Burrell fouls one back to the screen, but how's the bullpen shape up in front of Soriano? That was one of the weaker points for the Rays last year. They won 84 games, lost 78 after going to the World Series in 2008. There's Soriano, J.P. Howe, Dan Wheeler, Grant Balfour, former Yankee Randy Choate, and Lance Cormier. And those are the that's the bullpen contingent for the Rays. 1-2 pitch, and it's a little bit low, and it's 2-2.
And you might argue, John, this Rays team might have the best defense in the American League. They got speed in the outfield, Gold Glovers in the infield. They're solid up and down on that field out there.
Full count now. It's Vasquez has labored somewhat this inning. It's 26 pitches thus far.
And this would be a count right here where Pat Burrell would never see a fastball during the regular season. We'll see what Javi Vasquez comes with.
Tried to hit that outside corner and missed, and it's a 2-out walk to Pat Burrell. And he'll head on down to first base. First walk of the night handed out by Vasquez, and it'll bring up maybe the hottest hitter in all of spring training, Sean Rodriguez. Now, we saw him here earlier this spring, and he hit a home run in a ball game against the Yankees, and he was playing left field. Tonight he's playing second base. He's got 5 home runs this spring, more than anybody in baseball. Breaking ball is in there for a call strike.
Last time we saw him here, Kenny, he hit a triple, homer, double, and was a single short of the cycle. They pulled him from the game and didn't give him a shot to finish it off.
The 0-1 pitch, and he swings at a fastball and doesn't get it, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And this young man came over in the trade for Scott Kazmir from the Angels, and he was very productive at AAA last year. Salt Lake City. Some people say it's the Pacific Coast League. A lot of good hitters ballparks at elevation. He had 29 home runs, 93 runs batted in at Salt Lake. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and Vasquez punches him out. So second strikeout for Javi Vasquez, but he does give up a run. And it was on one swing of the bat. Carlos Pena, with his first hit of spring training, gives the Rays a 1-0 lead.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Field-level seats between the bases at Yankee Stadium are now on sale on a full season ticket plans and partial season ticket plans basis. These plans are now available for a limited time. Log on to Yankees.com. Call the Season Ticket Sales and Service Department at 718-293-6000 or email seasontickets@yankees.com. In 2010, come home to Yankee Stadium, the home of champions.
1 year after you quit smoking, your risk of heart disease is cut in half. But right now, you're a heart attack waiting to happen. Every cigarette makes you sick. For help, call 311.
As long as we're winding up our doing dials, let's wind them with precision. Open our throttle to even more selection and turn that savings swagger up full tilt. So when the time comes to bust open a can of doing, we've got all the tools for all the things we need to make them happen. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get Scott's Naturescapes mulch for the new lower price of just $3.88.
The all-new 2011 Sonata should make you think Hyundai, but act now. Think Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. Think efficiency. Even with 200 horsepower, Sonata still gets a class-leading 35 miles per gallon. From Hyundai, America's most fuel-efficient automaker. Think savings. Lease the Sonata for just $199 a month. Don't just think about it. Act now at your Hyundai dealer. For a short time, lease the 2011 Hyundai Sonata for just $199 a month.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, the Bombers battle the Tigers here at Steinbrenner Field. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock when Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty have the call. And don't forget opening day on Sunday, April 4th, as the Yankees take on the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Yankees baseball is back right here on Yes.
Bob Lorenz tomorrow. He's doing research tonight. Is actually here at the game, sitting in the stands. Now, that's a company man right there.
Yes, it is. Well, you know, you don't expect anything less from Bob. Here we go to the bottom of the second inning, and Marcus Thames will lead it off for the Yankees. He's the designated hitter. Hernandez deals and misses outside, ball 1. Marcus Thames was a product of the Yankee farm system, and Derek Shelton, the hitting coach, actually Marcus played for him. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike, and he had some very nice things to say about Marcus Thames, including the fact his baseball ability and his ability to hit left-handed pitching. The 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2. Now, he said he hits the real left-handers. He hits guys like Cliff Lee, CC Sabathia. That's what you want. Somebody in the middle lineup you can plug in there to take care of those left-handers. That pitch is low, and the count is now full, 3-1.
We talked about Matt Garza not making this trip and the Yankees getting to see Carlos Hernandez. I'm sure the happiest guy in the clubhouse was Marcus Thames, because he's trying to make this ball club. And like you said, Kenny, the way he's going to do it is by wearing out some left-handers. We'll see if he can produce tonight.
He's ahead on the count here. The 3-1 pitch and a swing and a miss, and the count is full at 3-2. Well, I always anticipate that 3-1 pitch as a hitter. That's where you want to be. 3-1, 2-0. Here's the payoff pitch. And he swings and fouls it back, and the count remains full at 3-2. It'll be Thames, Wynn, and Miranda for the Yankees. Here in the bottom of the second, they trail 1-0.
You know, I've been in Marcus Thames' situation trying to make a team. As you see his numbers the last 4 years, a lot of power. And you really pray for those good matchups in spring training.
Breaking ball is low, and he draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the second. The Yankees have the tying run on.
You're thinking if I can get matched up with a lefty, maybe put a good swing or two on him out there, might be able to make this ball club.
Thames welcomed by Mick Kelleher, the first base coach, and he gets to talk a little bit to Carlos Pena and ask him if he got all of that home run.
And you know, even in spring training, John, you know who's pitching the next day. And you see Matt Garza and you think, man, I got another off day tomorrow. I'm losing some more at bats. And when they flip-flopped and brought Hernandez, probably the happiest guy. You're right. Yep. Last night before going to bed.
Here's Randy Wynn, signed by the Yankees as a free agent over the winter. Played last year for the San Francisco Giants. A veteran, takes a pitch for a call strike. Switch hitter. Career .286 hitter.
Was lucky enough to play with Randy when he came up with the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays. And really he's had a nice career for himself. Kind of came up as a 4th or 5th outfielder, somebody who could run. Had a solid career and trying to pick it up here in spring training. He's another one who's had a slow spring.
1 ball, 1 strike. You know, with the NCAA tournament getting underway today, Randy Wynn actually played point guard behind Steve Nash at Santa Clara. Pitch is fouled back, and it's 1-2. And years ago, after he turned pro as a baseball player, he went to did you hear the story, Flash? Went to the LA Clippers game with his cousin, and they picked him out of the crowd to take the half-court shot. And at first he didn't want to do it, but his cousin convinced him to do it, and he made it and won a car. Gave the car to his mom. Pitches outside, and it's 2-2. Now, how about this trade? Strange but true. October 28, 2002, Randy Wynn, outfielder, for Lou Piniella, manager.
You don't see that very often. I don't think we'll be seeing that again anytime soon.
That pitch is in there for call strike 3 as Hernandez picks up his 3rd strikeout. Snuck a fastball over the inside corner.
Fastball's way early in the count here, getting ready to reach out there a little bit. Came back inside, little cutter, a little bit up in the zone. He just didn't pick the ball up very well, and strike 3 right there. A good pitch, and I'm sure Randy would love to have that pitch back.
I think you're right, Tino. You know, watching the way he took that, it just doesn't look like he's picking the baseball up, and obviously he needs to get it going here the second half of spring training.
Here is Juan Miranda playing first base tonight. Swings at a breaking ball and hits a tough souvenir into the stands. Strike 1. Miranda had himself a good year at AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre with the Yankees last year. This is what he's done in spring training. Driven in 3 runs. 19 home runs a year ago at the AAA level. He's got Marcus Thames at first with 1 out. Pitch is fouled back to the screen, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. Now, both you gentlemen have in a unique position. You played for each of these teams. Playing for the Yankees and playing for the Rays, and we got a sellout crowd here tonight, and a lot of it is because the Rays are in town. This is actually their area. The Tampa Bay area is where they play, just across the bay in St. Petersburg. So a good crowd on hand here tonight. Pitch is high for a ball, 1-2.
But when I played for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, the then Devil Rays, to me it was such a change coming from a place like New York and then St. Louis. to being in my own house in my backyard and being in the swimming pool in the morning with my kids, having lunch at home, and driving across the bridge, having 4 at-bats at night, and playing a major league game, and
Ball strike 3, 2 down.
Get back in my car after the game and drive back home. It was a different mindset, I guess you could say, to play professional baseball. It was like being at home, a relaxing, comforting thing, and actually it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with the young guys, Carl Crawford and B.J. Upton, and watching them kind of grow and develop early on.
That was prior to the team becoming a contender, though.
That's right. We actually won 70 games that year, the most they had ever won. But after that, when these guys started turning it around, these guys grew up a little bit, got some key additions to the team, and Joe Madden's made a big difference.
Ramiro Pena loops one into right field. Is going to drop in there for a base hit. Zobrist is up with it, and Thames is going to stop at second. Now, John, your perspective with the Rays.
It's a lot different than Tino's perspective, I'll put it that way. You know, I was traded to Tampa and was their first catcher coming in as an expansion team. And obviously we struggled. I spent 5 years there and we didn't win a lot of ball games. So going to New York and the bright lights and playing in front of big crowds, I mean, that was the highlight of my career. I kind of went from the bottom of the basement to the top of the penthouse.
Now, we've all known about their struggles with attendance and things, but I do know that their TV ratings and the radio ratings are very high. How hard? It's just hard to get people to go to the ballpark.
It's hard to explain. The people here do love the Rays. They watch them on TV.
Jeter swings, hits one well to center field, up and going back, and he's not going to get it. The ball is over his head. Thames will score. Pena's round at third, and he will score. And the Yankees take a 2-1 lead on a 2-run, 2-out double by Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter does a nice job hitting here with 2 outs, and he's very aggressive. He comes up. Watch B.J. Upton in center field. He plays a very shallow center field. He feels like his strength is going back, but he gets turned around right here. That ball slicing left to right. I think the wind helped it a little bit. Derek Jeter, nice piece of hitting with 2 outs, couple RBIs.
There has kind of a slow spring going, but you know that'll turn around. Here's Granderson. And he takes a pitch high and inside, ball 1. Granderson had flown out to center field his first time up. Jeter had reached on an error on a ball that he hit very hard. Granderson 174 this spring. Hits a high fly ball to center field. Up it to his right, makes the catch, and that's going to be the final out here in the second inning. But the Yankees score a couple of runs on a couple of hits. At the end of 2, it's the Yankees 2 and the Rays 1.
Healthcare in New York, it's not a pretty picture. Albany has already cut our hospitals and nursing homes 7 times since 2007. And now they want to take away another billion. Time and again, Albany has cut the care we rely on. That means fewer nurses, longer wait times, hospitals and nursing homes nearing bankruptcy, even disappearing completely. Tell your state legislator, no more health care cuts. Enough is enough.
It's time for...
Welcome back. These television providers claim to offer great value. Judges, who will you believe?
We're the biggest value in entertainment.
We offer the same TV as DirecTV for less.
Does the same include channels like AMC, Animal Planet, Bravo, FX?
Not in our basic package like yours.
Judges?
In your face. In your face.
Now that you've got the truth, get DirecTV. Stay tuned.
Get Nissan quality now. Get safety now. Get savings now. This is Nissan Now. A sales event with our best deals ever on our strongest lineup ever. 0% financing on every sedan, crossover, truck, and SUV. Plus, great lease offers like $199 on the new Altima. Event ends soon. Get to Nissan now.
The Sunday Daily News is celebrating modern Yankee heroes with great commemorative magazines. Each Sunday, get a big, full-color magazine of a Yankee hero, packed with extraordinary action shots, career highlights, and stats, plus a player poster. This Sunday, get Dandy Andy Pettit, yours free only in the Sunday Daily News.
Oh, we're back at Steinbrenner Field, top of the third inning. Yankees leading 2-1, and Right now, we're going to go right down near the Yankee clubhouse, where making her first appearance of the spring is Kim Jones. Welcome back, Kim.
Hello, Kenny, Tino, and John. How are you?
We're doing fine, and I guess one of the big questions of the camp is the 5th starter spot, and Jabba actually pitched pretty well yesterday.
He absolutely did. In fact, I talked to Dave Island today before the game, guys, and he said they're all bunched up. All 5 of the candidates for the number 5 spot are making a good case for themselves, especially after Jabba's outing yesterday. In fact, Island said, guys, if we had to pick our number 5 starter today, we'd be in the coach's office all night talking about it because they're making it really hard for us. Joe Girardi says by next Thursday or Friday, he would like to have a decision.
You know, that was Jabba's best outing by far yesterday.
Absolutely. No flu to worry about. He was strong. He told me fastball, slider, changeup, all working very well. In fact, he said delighted his changeup was working as well as it was. And guys, with Jabba, we always talk about the mental aspect of the game. He said he's going back to being me and having fun. So Jabba's going to be Jabba, by the way, not me, but that's Jabba talking, and he said he needs to stay loose before games and then focus when the game starts. So it's all about attitude, and he says he's staying positive this spring.
Yeah, this sounds like it could go down right to the end of spring training.
It does sound like that, and like I said, by end of next week, Joe Girardi says he'd like to have a decision, but they have a tough decision to make, it sounds like.
Deandra Navarro has just grounded out the 3rd, Kim, so there's 1 down. Let's turn to the offense. And 2 players who are having fantastic springs are Nick Swisher and Robinson Cano. What did Kevin Long have to say about them?
Well, Kenny, as you mentioned, this is my first appearance. I said to Kevin Long, what's going on? He said, Nick Swisher. We need to talk about Nick Swisher. In December in Arizona, they worked on his stance. You're seeing that tonight against the lefty. You guys referenced it in the first inning. He's much wider in his stance, and it's having immediate effects. Kevin Long says to have those kinds of immediate effects, he is delighted. The way he put it, there are less moving parts to Nick Swisher's swing against righties. So that's very good news for Swisher and the Yankees.
And how about Robbie Cano, who is very hard out this spring? You can't get him out.
You can't get him out, and he's also batting 5th, as we all know. That's big responsibility. I ran into Robbie. I said, are you ready for it? He said, absolutely, I feel like I am. And Kevin Long said as well, he believes Robbie Cano has matured to the point where he's ready to bat 5th. Behind Alex Rodriguez.
Now, I know that several of the other Yankee pitchers are overjoyed to have Javi Vasquez on the team. Now, what did they have to tell you?
Well, let's see, Kenny. They get a guy who was among the best pitchers in the NL. They get a guy who eats innings, and he's the number 4 starter. CC Sabathia told me, I love it. He lengthens our rotation. We know what we're going to get from Javi. CC also said, and he already knows New York. That's a big deal.
It certainly is, and it'll probably take a lot of pressure off the bullpen. Another pitcher who can do that.
Yeah, pressure off the pen, Kenny, and also pressure off CC, AJ, and Andy, because they know at number 4 they have a reliable guy.
Well, Vasquez has struck out Jason Bartlett for out number 2 this inning, and Kim, once again, at the top of her game, mid-season form, as we're in the top of the 3rd. We'll see you later, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Okay. 2 down, nobody on, and here is Carl Crawford. Now we want to thank Kim for that report. That's been a busy area this spring, just outside the Yankee clubhouse. 2 up and 2 down. Crawford struck out his first time up, takes a pitch outside, and it's ball 1.
You're going back to Jabba there, her talking about Jabba having fun. That is the key. You know, even though you're battling for a spot on the team, the 5th spot in the rotation, you got to be loose, you got to have fun. You just got to go out there and let it fly. I think what I've seen the last couple outings, he's been timid and trying to nibble in the corners and not really attacking hitters. And yesterday, he just went after him. Threw fastballs right at him, curveballs, and just pitched his game.
2 balls and no strikes on Crawford. And he takes one upstairs, ball 3. Now, yesterday, against the Phillies over in Clearwater, this is what Jabba did. 3 innings, 2 hits, a run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, and used 4 innings. 3 hits and no runs against Houston. There's a call strike, and it's 3-1 on Crawford. This is going to be interesting to see how this shakes down.
Sure is. I really believe that too. First, you have a couple of guys who Joe Girardi wants them to pick it up. Somebody step up.
Swing and a miss.
Now all of a sudden you might have 2 or 3 guys stepping it up and making the decision even tougher when it gets down to the wire.
Here are the 5 candidates. The Fab 5. Chamberlain, Hughes, Aceves having a great spring. Godin and Mitre. Mitre's been pitching well too.
I talked to a few scouts today. They were raving about Mitre.
3-2 pitch is fouled back by Carl Crawford.
But they can notice a difference from last year. You know, a little bit further removed from Tommy John surgery, and his stuff has gotten a little bit better. And I guess the good news, you have all those guys fighting for one spot and some depth and pitching for the Yankees. Maybe a possibility of somebody getting moved at the end of spring training. See what happens.
3-2 pitch, and it's low for ball 4. Crawford wouldn't chase, and he brings speed to first base. Second walk charged to Vasquez, and it'll bring up Ben Zobrist, the right fielder. I wonder what Jorge just reminded him who was at first base.
You're right, 60 stolen bases last year for Crawford. Good test for Jorge Posada here, maybe with 2 outs. You got to be thinking Crawford's going to try to get himself into scoring position, and as a catcher behind the plate, you want to gauge where you're at with your throwing to second base. We'll see if he gets challenged.
Yeah, we mentioned this is the time of spring training when the games become more like regular season games. There goes Crawford. The throw to second is not in time. Just ahead of the tag. Posada did everything right. The throw was right there. It was just a matter of Crawford's speed.
Well, Jorge Posada doesn't get the call, and you can see Vasquez a little slide step, but Jorge Posada does everything perfectly. Good throw. You look at the tag by Derek Jeter. Second base umpire Mark Carlson doesn't give the Yankees the call, but closes the shoulder. Good over the top rotation. Bang, bang play. Doesn't get the call.
Man, that was close.
Great throw by Jorge right there. John, when you're in spring training, though, you as a catcher, you've got to love it when guys run on you because you want to test yourself and see how you feel as well, right?
You're 100% right. It's just like hitting. You know, you want to face one of the top of the rotation guys to see where you're at with your timing. It's the same thing throwing runners out. Jorge Posada has to be pleased with that, although he didn't get the call.
Man at second. Zobrist takes a breaking ball for a call strike, and it's 1-1. Rays, this might be Crawford's last year with the team. He can become a free agent at the end of the year. They're not going to discuss contract from this point on. Jeter probably checking the signs with Javier Vasquez. And the same applies to Carlos Pena. So there might be 29 other teams doing some Crawford shopping this offseason.
And I'm sure all 29 teams would love to have him.
Here's a pitch for a call strike, and it's 1-2. Yeah, Crawford, if he does leave, he would leave as the all-time leader in hits, runs, stolen bases, triples, and runs batted in. Vasquez, that was pitch number 60. The pitch counts. The next pitch will be number 60. The pitch counts are starting to get up there. Pitchers are staying in ball games longer. Zobrist takes an off-speed pitch, and it's down low, and it's 2-2.
I played with Carl Crawford in 2004, and it was his second year in the big leagues. And I'm telling you, this guy would come to the ballpark, first person every day to the ballpark. When I get there at 3 o'clock, which is an hour and a half before you stretch, he had already hit the cage. He had already lifted weights. He gets there early every day, gets his work in, and by the time the game comes, he's so prepared day in and day out to be the best player he can be.
So over the years, we've seen him develop into an all-star player. When he first came up, he would swing at everything at the plate. Now he has more of an idea. He'll get a few more walks and turn them into stolen bases. The 2-2 pitch. Zobrist, little chopper in front of the plate. Posada's going to, no, there's a miscommunication. Zobrist will get a base hit, and Crawford will move to third. It looked like Posada was going to get it, and Vasquez, I don't know if he called him off, but all of a sudden they both broke away from the ball.
A little miscommunication here, and Zobrist just puts us in a perfect spot. I mean, whoever fields this ball is going to have a tough play. It would have been an easier play for Jorge Posada coming out towards the field. His momentum would have been going towards first base, but a little lack of communication. Can't get on the same page. But like I said, it is placed perfectly. Whoever made this play was going to have a tough play to make.
You can see they avoid the collision, but they also avoid the baseball. So runners at first and third with 2 outs, and to bring up Carlos Pena, who homered in the second inning.
Pena hit that home run. He got 2 back-to-back fastballs on a 3-2 count. We'll see if Javi Vasquez makes a little adjustment here. Maybe some more off-speed pitches. You do get in a fastball count, maybe a good time to throw a changeup.
Pitch is hit slowly on the ground to second for Cano. He comes in from the outfield, makes the catch, throws out Pena, and the threat is over for the Rays here in the third inning. They leave 2 men on. They pick up 1 hit, And at the end of 2.5 innings, the Yankees maintain a 2-1 lead. Robinson Cano, playing short right field, will come in on the check swing and make the play. The Yankees maintain their lead.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Come out to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. On Thursday, April 15th, when the Yankees take on the Angels. Don't miss a very special camp night at Yankee Stadium. All fans in attendance will receive a 27-time world champions Yankees hat, courtesy of H&R Block. In 2010, come home to Yankee Stadium, the home of champions.
You may be eligible for New York City's nicotine patch and gum giveaway, now available for a limited time only through March 25th. Quit smoking today. For help, call 311 or visit nyc.gov/nycquits.
A good reputation is difficult to attain. A reputation for unsurpassed quality and industry-leading customer service even more so. Which is why it must be earned. Every day, every mile, with every driver. We've earned ours by relentlessly asking one simple question. How can we make it even better tomorrow? Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
It's the first time you're letting your daughter shop on her own. So here's your moment of truth, Mom. Which 3G network would you trust to run apps like Family Locator when it matters most? When you want your 3G network to work, you want Verizon. Upgrade your family now and get an LG Envy Touch. Or get this Samsung Alias for just $29.99, plus add a line for just $9.99. Families can connect for less at Verizon.
Well, while I have a chance here, let's look at the American Airlines upcoming schedule. Friday, 1 o'clock right here on Yes, the Yankees and the Tigers. Sunday, Tigers are back, 1 o'clock right here on Yes. Then on Monday, the Yankees go over to Clearwater, across the bay, and they'll take on the Philadelphia Phillies, the National League champions. And once again, the Tigers are back. So a lot of Detroit Tigers in the Yankees' future. Here's Nick Swisher. Swisher had a ground ball single to center field his first time. All those games will be right here on the Yes Network. Swisher takes one inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Swisher, .333 this spring's been on base 41% of the time. I'll make that 42%. Round the numbers. Takes one high and away. And he's ahead 3-0. It'll be Swisher, Posada, and Cano for the Yankees here in the 3rd inning. They lead it 2-1 against the Tampa Bay Rays. And that is high for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. That's the way the last inning started for Carlos Hernandez, and he gave up a couple of runs.
One thing I noticed about Nick Swisher, as well as his offense, besides his offense here in spring training, is his defense has been outstanding. He's chased some balls down that line, over his head to the wall. He's made some great plays out there on a sunny field, lots of wind, and it's been a really good defensive player all spring.
Here's Jorge Posada. Struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Picks one low and away for ball 1. Posada is, well, his average was over 400 coming into tonight. He is 8 for his last 12. Starting to pick up the pace. Ball 2. And Hernandez has not thrown a strike this inning. And that'll bring up Deandre Navarro, former All-Star, out to talk to Hernandez.
You're right, Navarro, another one of those players the Rays are expecting to have a bounce-back year. He's going to have a little competition. Kelly Shopik is now a Tampa Bay Ray. He's probably going to get a lot of the at-bats against left-handed pitching.
Navarro, 2 years ago, an All-Star. Last year, really had an offseason. Hit only .218. Posada in the driver's seat. 2 balls and no strikes, and takes one way outside. Ball 3, 3-0. We mentioned Hernandez is not a candidate to be a starter for the Rays this year. In fact, their start rotation is just about set. James Shields, Matt Garza, David Price. Second-year pitcher Jeff Neiman, who had a pretty good year last year. .31 pitch is in there for a strike. And the 5th spot Wade Davis and Andy Sonnenstein are in the mix. So there is some competition in the Rays. 5th spot in the rotation as well as the Yankees. Posada still in the driver's seat. A 3-1 count. The pitch is on the way, and Posada takes call. Strike 2. The count is full. Seems like tonight Hernandez is sneaky with that fastball in. He keeps everything away, and then when he thinks he has you leaning, sometimes the hitter will guess in there and pound one. 3-2 pitch is fouled back, out of play.
It's a good at bat by Jorge right here. 3-1 pitch fastball on the inner half of the plate. He was probably looking middle away to drive something to right center, and he just took the inside pitch. Most hitters will swing at it anyway and ground out to third. So great game plan he has working here, and that's why Jorge walks a lot and always has good at bats.
Swisher hasn't moved on the previous 3-2 pitches. Here's another one. He's not going, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. Well, Jorge Posada will get his thoughts on the Yankees winning the World Series in 2009.
You look back and you go 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, and you look at the little things that we were able to do and not able to do. It's not easy. It's not easy to be on top of the world holding a trophy. We made it look easy in the 90s. We made it look easy last year. It's not easy to do what we are capable of doing.
Jorge Posada, 5-time world champion. Here's Cano, takes a pitch low and away, ball 1. Carlos Hernandez has had problems throwing strikes this inning. He walks Swisher, then Posada, and now brings up Cano, who struck out his first time.
Well, listening to Jorge saying it's not that easy to do. Now you got to come out here in 2010 and try to repeat, defending champs. It really helps having guys like Posada and Jeter and Mariano, who have been there, have won the world championships, and come back year after year craving to win another one.
Well, you got Andy Pettitte, and you got a lot of first-time winners last year, and I bet they all know the feeling. It wasn't that long ago, and you want to have it again.
That's the thing, when you get that feeling and you win the World Series and the parade and everything that goes along with it, the accomplishment, you want to do it again. And the talk in the clubhouse has been that, how good it was last year, how great they played together, accomplishing their goals, and they're all talking about trying to get it done again.
Don't forget the check.
Check's not bad either.
No, not at all. A lot of greens fees. The 1-1 pitch, and Cano fouls it back, and the count is 1-2.
You know, Tino, a lot was made last year on the chemistry of the ball club, and they really clicked in the middle of the year. And you're in this Yankee clubhouse every day in spring training. Now, I know it's hard in spring training to get a feel for it, but guys getting along pretty well in there?
But they're getting along very well. They're doing. Joe's done a great job. Joe Girardi's done a great job of mixing the players up on road trips and home games and getting lots of guys to play together throughout spring training. So they're a great bunch of guys. They get along well, and they're all talking about winning again here in 2010.
That pitch is low, and it's 2-2 to Cano.
Yeah, I guess the new additions, Curtis Granderson, Randy Wynn, and Marcus Timms coming back, Nick Johnson, they all have great reputations as being good clubhouse guys.
52 pitches for Hernandez as he toils here in the bottom of the third. Call, strike 3. Cano caught looking for the second time. This has been a no-contact inning. 2 walks and a strikeout.
Little backdoor sinker right here. Looks like he started out over the outside half of the plate and ran it back a little bit. Probably a little bit off the plate there, but good pitcher's pitch, and not much Cano can do with that one anyway.
See the reaction of Reggie Jackson in the background there. 1 down, 2 on. There's the Hall of Famer, Mr. October. Marcus Timms takes one low and inside, ball 1. I didn't see Reggie before the game today. Usually it's one of the highlights of my day when I come out here.
Usually you can't miss him.
Nah, he's. I'll tell you what. You wouldn't miss him back in the days when he was playing. Pitch is bounced foul down the third base side by Timms.
You know, you hate to put too much stock into one at bat, but if you're Marcus Timms right here, first and second, one out, facing a left-handed pitcher, in your mind you're thinking, you know what, I have to get it done right here. If I'm going to try to make an impression and make this team, this is a big at bat for him, and we're here in the third inning of a spring training game. Marcus fighting for a spot on this ball club.
Yeah, this is why the Yankees got him. Give him the opportunity to hit left-handed pitching. That one just missed. Timms drew a walk and scored in the second inning. I think it's maybe not the overall results, but if you hit the ball hard, you know, you give the impression that I think the coaches realize when you're hitting the ball hard, eventually they're going to start falling in.
The approach, have a good approach up there, good game plan, and you're right, Kenny, that's what they're looking for.
2-1 pitch, and that pitch was away, and it swung on and missed, 2-2.
You know, it's funny, I get asked all the time, did I enjoy spring training? Well, you know what, when I had a guaranteed job, I loved spring training. But those other springs, you know, been in the situation like Marcus or a young player coming up trying to make a ball club, spring training is a grind. I mean, you gotta take advantage of every opportunity given to you.
2-2 pitch on the way, and that is inside. That's that pitch he tries to sneak over the inside corner. He missed it. The count is run full at 3-2.
Looked like Hernandez made a pretty good pitch. Marcus maybe got away with one.
58 pitches. Yeah, both pitchers have gotten their pitch counts up pretty early in this game. 5 strikeouts and 3 walks for Hernandez. 3-2 pitch, and it is called strike 3. He went back outside and picks up his 6th strikeout. So still a no contact inning. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Well, Marcus took a fastball inside the pitch before, and here's a fastball away. Home plate umpire Eric Cooper making the call. I thought the pitch on the inner half was close. The one on the outer half called strike 3. You see Marcus's reaction. Thinks it's out over the plate.
So you're thinking he didn't give him the inside corner pitch, but he gave him the outside corner.
And you know what? A lot of these umpires are, you know, they have sides of the plate that they see the ball better, or they're more apt to call a strike. It looks like it's going to be the away side on a right-handed batter.
Here's Randy Wynn, takes ball 1. Wynn was a strikeout victim in the second inning. 2 on and 2 out now. Yankees leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Wynn hits a ground ball towards short. Bartlett has it. Goes to Rodriguez for the force, and the Yankees, after getting 2 walks to start the inning, looked like it was going to be promising, but it didn't work out. It's still 2-1 Yankees.
The Yankees are back, and YesNetwork.com is your source for in-depth coverage from spring training with daily video updates, interviews, blogs, and photo galleries. Plus, follow Yes Network on Twitter for the latest updates. YesNetwork.com, your Yankees spring training home.
Millionaire Theater presents...
As soon as our sister returns with the newt's toes, our love potion will be complete.
Your plot to cast a spell on me won't work. I'll never fall in love and marry one of you, sisters.
Sisters, I just won $1 million, and I spent it all on cosmetic surgery.
Hoochie mama, look at those ankles.
Become a March millionaire. Play $1 Million Match or one of many New York Lottery instant games offering $1 million or more.
We realized a long time ago that what you make people feel is just important as what you make. And at BMW, we don't just make cars. We make joy.
Dish Network claims they have more HD channels than DirecTV. Really? What Dish doesn't tell you is that 25 of their HD channels are only in high def part of the time. So with Dish, when you turn on your flat screen, you might get HD, or you might not. DirecTV now has the capacity for over 200 HD channels, all in HD, all the time. So don't be fooled by Dish Network. When you compare, DirecTV wins every time.
Tonight's game on Yes is brought to you in part by Verizon Wireless, by your Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Visit tristatevw.com. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Back here in Tampa for the top of the 4th inning, Javier Vasquez's evening is done. See on our Audi scoreboard, the Yankees lead 2-1 here in the top of the 4th. Javi Vasquez finished with 62 pitches, did not go the 4 innings that he probably would have liked, only went 3, and he hands the ball to Romulo Sanchez, who will take over for the Yankees. Going to face Willie Ibar, B.J. Upton, and Pat Burrell for the Rays. You see the numbers for Sanchez last year with AAA Scranton. 64 strikeouts and 64 2/3 innings. So we've got a power arm. Yankees like what they have seen from him this spring. There's a fastball right by Ibar.
Yeah, the Yankees originally obtained him from the Pirates in a minor league trade. Then sent him to AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre, where he made 13 starts.
.96 miles an hour. And it looks like it's got a little bit of movement on it too.
These are the guys that I didn't like to hit against in spring training. They're young guys. They come in, they throw hard. They don't necessarily know where it's going all the time. You know, I like the guys I was familiar with. The starters that I'd seen in the past. You know, and just basically knew what they had. Maybe see if they had a new wrinkle in the spring. This guy, you had no idea what he's throwing. And you want to go out there, and if he throws it in the middle, you're going to hit it. But if he's throwing it anywhere else, you might have a little problem with it.
Seems like one of those kind of guys that can throw 2 of them over your head and then paint one on the inside half. So you just don't know when the strike is coming.
A nice scoop play by Robinson Cano as Ibar hit a soft rolling ground ball. Nice athletic play from Robinson Cano coming in using his glove to finish the play.
Well, look at Sanchez coming off the mound. He's going to come up just a little bit short. Now it's up to Cano.
Robinson Cano makes a lot of these plays look easy. That's a very tough play right there, but he stays under control with his body, knows he has time, and just nice little flip there. He's just an outstanding second baseman and has quite a few gold gloves in his future.
With 1 down, it's going to bring up the Rays center fielder B.J. Upton as he takes ball 1. All right, guys, let's talk about Javier Vasquez and what you thought of him tonight in the 3 innings that he worked.
I would say his pitch count got up, but I think he was pretty good. He gave up 1 run, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, couple of walks. He seemed to use all his pitches. I thought he did pretty well.
About Vasquez, he's probably not happy with a couple of walks, maybe not thrilled with his location as Jorge Posada comes out to have a conversation with Sanchez. I thought his changeup was really good tonight. Maybe the curveball not as sharp as we've seen in spring training. I think Joe Girardi and the staff probably just happy he got out of here healthy.
You know, the only run he gave up was that leadoff home run to Pena. He didn't want to walk him. You said he threw 2 fastballs in a row to him. Just said, here it is, hit it, and he hit it.
So Upton in a good count, 2-0, and he gets a good swing on a fastball and drills it to right center field. Granderson on the run. This one is going to short hop the fence as Upton is cruising into second. He's going to try to stretch it for 3. Robinson Cano with the throw. Not going to be in time. A 1-out triple for B.J. Upton.
Yeah, let's look back at Upton. October 2nd, he hit for the cycle against the Yankees at Tropicana Field. He had the cycle by the 5th inning. He could have walked off the field and been a hero right in the middle of the ball game. And tonight, when he hit that double, I thought tonight that was just going to be a double. But he got to second, and he punched up another gear and turned it into a triple with 1 out. That's what you're supposed to do if you have that type of speed. 1 out, you take the chance on going to 3rd. And to me, if it was me, I'd have been at second. I'd still been there.
I'd be sliding to second with you, Kenny.
It'll be a 1-0 delivery to Pat Burrell. Again, a fastball down. It gets past Posada. And B.J. Upton is going to score easily. We talked earlier that Sanchez throws hard and has a little bit of movement. Jorge Posada had a tough time with that fastball.
You know, it's not only the hitters that are unfamiliar with it, but it could be the catcher. Posada hasn't caught him very often. And, you know, about the movement, this is low. You know, maybe Jorge could have done a better job of turning the glove over to get, but still, ball gets through him, and Upton's going to score easily.
There may be some guys in camp, Kenny, he may not have even caught at all. You know, he may have caught him maybe once in the bullpen or Not at all. When they go to the mound out there before the inning starts, Jorge's saying, hey, what does he have? Sinker, slider, curveball, change, and Jorge, and good luck to Jorge after that.
And you're right, when he says fastball, he's not saying, hey, I got a little bit of movement, I throw 96. He's just telling you he's got a fastball. There's a 3-0 delivery for strike.
He just told Jorge, I like to throw hard. Catch it.
See, this is the difference right here from the minor leagues to the big leagues for a guy like Sanchez. You get behind in the count 3-1 to a major league hitter. We'll see if the fastball's good enough. Good swing by Pat Burrell, fouled off.
It wasn't good enough to up him. These guys get paid a lot of money to turn fastballs around no matter how hard you throw.
Let's see if Sanchez comes back with another fastball. Might be able to get it by Pat Burrell. And it is a fastball. It's going to be a ground ball up the middle. Derek Jeter dives, but it's just out of his reach. So Pat Burrell, who walked his first time up, now has his first base hit of the ball game.
Here's a look at Jeter. 1, 2, 3 step. The ball was hit hard by Burrell. And Derek just out of his reach. You know, Derek did a good job last year, earning a Gold Glove again, his 4th. But increasing his range, he worked specifically on exercises to increase his range, particularly to his left. And it did show last year. I hope he's all right there. He's flexing a finger. Sometimes you stub your hand as it, you know, it doesn't really glide across the ground. It just gets caught up in the dirt.
You see him shaking his hand. You know Joe Girardi is paying attention. The last thing you want to see, your starting shortstop and your captain, as Sean Rodriguez. It's a fly ball to the infield. Looks like Derek Jeter's going to settle underneath it. Makes the play for the second out of the inning. And again, looking at his throwing hand.
He's looking. There's my leadoff hitter. Finished 3rd in the MVP race. I hope he's okay.
If he's not, you won't see him the rest of the game. That's for sure.
Yep. Joe Girardi will pay attention, probably talk to him in between innings. With 2 outs, brings up Navarro, the Rays catcher, number 9 hitter in the lineup, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. Sanchez ahead in the count. Another fastball that just misses. We're going to take a look again at Derek Jeter going to his left. See the dive just out of his reach, but watch a throwing hand. And he might have maybe jammed it on the lip of the infield there.
That's what it looked like. Sure did.
Like I said, Joe Girardi and the staff, you just hold your breath that everything's going to be all right with your starting shortstop and your captain. Pat Burrell at first base. The Rays have tied it up here in the top of the 4th, 2-2. Navarro hits a little chopper that's going to get out of play, foul down the first base line.
Navarro is a hitter who's tough to walk. He only walked 18 times last year. You got some of the big hitters in the league, the pitchers are careful. They walk 18 times in 2 weeks.
Trying to resurrect his career again. Was an all-star 2 years ago. Fighting for playing time this year, and he takes look like a split or a changeup just off the plate. Send the count full. With 2 outs and a full count, Juan Miranda, the first baseman, is going to play behind Pat Burrell. He'll be on the move with the delivery. As Derek Jeter, looks like that right hand is feeling a little bit better. Pat Burrell's on the move. It's a 3-2, and again, Sanchez misses with a fastball down. Been behind in the count the whole inning.
And he walks a very difficult hitter to give a free pass.
Two outs. We're going to get back to the top of the lineup for the Rays. Jason Bartlett, who's 0 for 2 tonight. A ground ball to Robinson Cano and struck out against Javi Vasquez.
You know, Flash, Bartlett actually had a better year last year than he had the previous season. but the previous season he was the team MVP.
Another fastball. Barlick first pitch swinging, drives it right back up the middle. Burrow's going to come around third, and they're going to hold him up as Curtis Granderson comes up with a good, strong throw. Third base coach Tom Foley for the Rays holds up Pat Burrell. Give Curtis Granderson some credit for a good, strong throw.
A good, strong throw, and Foley did the right thing. Foley has been a third base coach for the Rays for 9 seasons. He's been there longer than any other coach. Boy, Sanchez almost took that one in the coconut, but watch Granderson, charges it well, comes up throwing, and it is a laser to home plate. Got one hop and a short hop to Jorge. Watch him throw, put on the brakes.
That might be a situation in the regular season where you might send him with 2 outs, try to get a run there to take the lead in the game. But here in spring training, one thing you want to avoid is a collision at home plate.
As Dave Island went out to make a pitching change, we're going to step aside as Dave Island's going to bring in a new pitcher.
It's one of the best mid-size sports sedans in the world. If it's not, there are over 50 international awards we'd better give back. The Jaguar XF, the critically acclaimed result of a very different way of thinking.
Lease a 2010 XF for $599 at your tri-state area Jaguar dealer.
Drink for your feet. With ZigTech, I get more train, less pain.
Healthcare in New York. It's not a pretty picture. Albany has already cut our hospitals and nursing homes 7 times since 2007. And now they want to take away another billion. Time and again, Albany has cut the care we rely on. That means fewer nurses, longer wait times, hospitals and nursing homes nearing bankruptcy, even disappearing completely. Tell your state legislator, no more healthcare cuts. Enough is enough.
I feel completely comfortable buying a Toyota.
These cars that we've had have been exceptionally safe.
Your loyalty has helped make us the #1 car brand in America. So we're offering you our biggest thank you ever. Right now, you can lease a sporty new 2010 Corolla for just $149 a month. Or get 0% financing for 60 months.
Thank you for standing by us.
The Yankees have made a pitching change. It'll be the left-hander Boone Logan as you take a look at his numbers last year with the Braves. 21 hits in 17 1/3 innings as Romulo Sanchez threw 23 pitches. Dave Island, the pitching coach, makes a change. I think more importantly, the Yankees are going to get a look at Logan against a tough left-handed hitter, Carl Crawford.
Yeah, we talked about how the games are getting more and more like the regular season, and this would be a move you would see during the regular season. Lefty coming in to face a left-handed hitter with men on base, and, situational move, trying to retire Crawford.
So Logan in relief of Sanchez, who got himself in a little bit of trouble. Gave up 3 hits in the inning, also walked 1. See Navarro at second base, Bartlett at first, the bases loaded with 2 outs. The dangerous Carl Crawford hitting with an open stance. Logan has looked good this spring. I think the Yankees have been pleasantly surprised. First pitch to Crawford's a fastball, and it's off Jorge Posada's glove, and it's going to get back behind the screen. There's going to be no play at home plate as Pat Burrell scores. Jorge Posada had a little trouble with Sanchez and his fastball, and it was a first pitch fastball from Logan. Doesn't look like he was crossed up.
This is going to be a pass ball. This pitch is right there for the catch. It looked like he kind of lost it. That was coming to home plate, and that's going to enable the Rays to take the lead. It wasn't that difficult a pitch to receive. At first I thought it was a cross-up, but then I began to look as Logan had trouble taking the throw from Posada.
So it'll be a 1-0 to Crawford. Swings, fouls it off the left side. Marte was hit with a line drive yesterday, so he's going to be out of action for a couple of days, but a couple of lefties trying to make an impression. See the numbers. Logan has done a nice job, as has Royce Ring.
Joe Girardi said he will take the 12 best arms, whether it's 2 lefties in the bullpen or 1.
Good slider for strike 2.
And his feeling is that pitchers like David Robertson, who's right-handed, does very well against left-handed hitters. And particularly last year, he was solid against both types of hitters, righties and lefties.
The 1-2, a good slider, a swing and a miss from Carl Crawford as Jorge Posada applies the tag. So a good job by Boone Logan. Although Jorge Posada had a pass ball, the Rays have now taken the lead 3-2. The Emmy winning series Yankeeography returns with an updated profile of the 2009 Bombers' incredible road to a championship, featuring all new recent interviews and exclusive footage. The updated Yankeeography 2009 returns tonight after the game, only on Yes. Take a look on our Audi scoreboard. The Rays take the lead in the top of the 4th, scoring 2. They now lead 3-2. They have 5 hits. The Yankees have 3. And Tampa Bay has made 1 error. David Winfrey is taking some hacks in the underground cage as Heath Rollins takes over for Carlos Hernandez. See his numbers last year from the minor leagues. 87 strikeouts in 140 innings, so not an overpowering pitcher. He's going to get a look at the number 8 hitter for the New York Yankees tonight, first baseman Juan Miranda.
You know, I see numbers like that, immediately it tells me sink or slide.
Yeah. Miranda was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning against Hernandez. He takes ball 1 off the outside part of the plate.
So Carlos Hernandez, who might be somewhat of a insurance policy for the Rays.
As Miranda hits a ground ball to Pena, going to flip it over to Rollins to make an easy play to lead off the top or the bottom of the 4th.
I think he acquitted himself pretty well. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, a couple runs. Here's Pena. Now Teixeira got the Gold Glove last year, but Pena is a Gold Glove quality first baseman. He's a very good fielder. Kind of reminds me of Tito Martinez, the way he used to snag him down there at first.
I believe Carlos Pena got the Gold Glove 2 years ago. The World Series year. He is an outstanding first baseman.
So with 1 out, it brings up Ramiro Pena, who had a base hit his first time. Squares the bunt. Takes ball 1.
You know, that's kind of an in-between hop. You don't know which way to go. Do you go back or do you charge it?
Sometimes you get stuck like he did right there. He thought about charging it, knew he couldn't. Then you just stay back and do what he did. Just try to knock it down with your chest and give the pitcher a good feed. And fortunately for him, he was able to trap it and still make the play.
See Pena's numbers for the spring. Showing some power, 1 home run. Takes a fastball off the plate.
You know, he hit that home run. It was early in the spring, and he caught a lot of flack the next day in batting practice. He was actually wearing sunglasses while taking batting practice, and he was in the group with Jeter and Posada.
Well, it's a ground ball to Rodriguez at 2nd, over to Pena, and a nice scoop. Carlos Pena at first base, talking about him being a Gold Glove quality first baseman, makes a nice scoop there.
Nice job by Pena here. The ball's a little down the dirt there, and just nice and easy. He's just so smooth over there. He makes the job of his infielders a lot easier, knowing they can throw the ball in the dirt, and he's going to pick them out because he is one of the best in the league at digging balls out of the dirt.
Yeah, but don't the first basemen remind the infielders, the target is right here, point to your chest.
You prefer it in the chest. You want it in the chest, but you know that's not always going to happen. And thing about it is the infielders appreciate it. They'll go in, hey, thanks, man. Thank you for picking me up right there.
There should be a dinner involved, You add them up over the years, over the season, and somebody owes you a dinner.
Derek Jeter takes a breaking ball the other way. It's going to be off the glove of Rodriguez, ends up in right field. We'll see how they score that, but most importantly, Derek Jeter getting his 3rd at bat in the ball game, so we're assuming that right throwing hand is not a problem.
That's his 2nd hit, so we assume it's not a problem at all. Derek has had a 2-run double, reached on an error in which a ball he smoked the shortstop. Could have been called a hit. I would have wanted it, you know, so he could have been 3 for 3 tonight.
Well, that too. Nice job by Derek right there, staying back on that curveball and hitting it hard to the right side.
The 2 outs going to bring up Curtis Granderson, playing center field tonight. 0 for 2 against the lefty Hernandez, and he takes a first pitch fastball down in the zone for ball 1.
Twice he is flied out to Upton in center field. That's a guy you don't want to hit a fly ball to.
Guys, so you think we pay a little bit too much attention? I mean, a lot's been made with Curtis Granderson and how he struggled against lefties last year. He was 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of fly balls, like you said, Kenny. Are we reading too much into it at this point in spring training?
I think you got to give the hitters a little bit of a break early in spring training. You want to see how they're actually hitting the ball as you get towards the end of spring training. This is the breakdown on last year with the Detroit Tigers. 2 home runs and a 183 batting average and 188 at-bats against left-handers. You can see much more success against right-handed pitching.
Ahead in the count, 2-0. Takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, let's put it this way. The Tigers had confidence in him to leave him in there. So I think that even though he was struggling against lefties, they left him in there to play. And I think that the fact is that the Yankees are going to do the same thing. He's going to play, and hopefully he'll have better numbers.
I talked to Joe Girardi about it a couple days ago and asked him about his at-bats against left-handed pitchers. And Joe said he's had quality at-bats. He said he's just missed on a couple of balls where he's flied out instead of hit a line drive. And he said his approach is good. He's right on all the pitches, so they're not concerned about it at all right now.
2 fly balls tonight. The one he just missed. The other was just the fly ball to center.
Derek Jeter takes his lead. He's not running, and Granderson hits one to the right side. Rodriguez backs up over to Carlos Pena, and that'll do it here in the 4th inning. So Derek Jeter had a 2-out base hit. Curtis Granderson 0 for 3, and the Yankees still trailing 3-2.
All grades of BP gasoline with Invigorate help your car get a few more miles per tank. When used continuously, it helps clean and protect dirty engine parts. So you'll go a little farther between fill-ups. To help your car get a few more miles per tank, try BP gasoline with Invigorate.
With the Verizon Fios multi-room DVR, whatever you record here, you can watch in up to 6 different rooms. If you record hockey, you can watch it in the basement.
Yes.
Snowboarding in the bedroom?
Yes.
Or ice dancing in the kitchen?
Yes.
I'm not sure why I said yes. That was weird.
Record all your favorite shows in one room and watch them in up to 6 others with the Fios multi-room DVR. This is beyond cable. This is Fios.
You may be eligible for New York City's nicotine patch and gum giveaway. Now available for a limited time only through March 25th. Quit smoking today. For help, call 311 or visit nyc.gov/nycquits.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. Now Ford quality is unsurpassed by Honda and Toyota. And more people are realizing why Ford Edge is raising the bar. Now, during our leadership sales drive, you can get 0% financing plus $2,000 cash back. That's both 0% and $2,000 cash. Plus, drive past gas stations faster with 265 horsepower and 25 miles per gallon. Or you can lease for only $259 a month. Ford Edge, unbelievable quality, incredible deal at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Back here for the top of the 5th in Tampa, Florida. Chan-Ho Park is going to take over. The Yankees trailing 3-2. And as always in the 5th inning, we are glad to welcome Yankee manager Joe Girardi. Joe, how are you doing tonight?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. This is the first opportunity that I actually get to interview you during a ball game, so I'm pretty excited about that. How about you?
This will be extremely smooth. This will be, this might be an Emmy here between you and I here.
A couple of ex-catchers talking some shop. First of all, let's get to Derek Jeter. We noticed he laid out for that ground ball from Pat Burrell and was kind of flexing his throwing hand. Anything to report on that?
No, I have nothing. He hit, and he didn't tell me anything, but, you know, he never tells us anything when he's got to be really hurt to come out of a game.
He got a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine.
So the first pitch from Chan-Ho Park in spring training is a fastball for a strike, and we're looking at the numbers now from Chan-Ho. How has he looked in the bullpen so far, Joe?
Well, this is his first outing. He's thrown a simulated game the other day, and his live BPs have been really, really good. really like what he does with the baseball. He's going to move it around and change speeds a lot. He's going to throw his curveball, his changeup. I mean, he's got everything, and he knows how to pitch. And, you know, he's been a starter, so he's been a guy that had to use 4 pitches, and he uses them out of the pen as well.
You see the numbers from last year with the Phillies as a starter, not very good, but out of the pen, 2.52. Impressive ERA. Zobrist hits a ground ball over to Miranda at first base. He's going to take it himself, and he just beats Zobrist for the first out here in the 5th inning. Now, Joe, the topic of conversation in spring training has been about the 5th spot in the rotation. Yesterday, you had a few of your candidates throwing. Phil Hughes and Jabba Chamberlain. Tell me what you thought.
Well, they both threw the ball very well, and we've told the guys now, you know, we told them the first 2 starts we were going to make too much of them. We just wanted them to build up their arm strength and get comfortable out there and use all their pitches and some things we wanted each one of them to work on. And now we've told them it's time to pick it up a little bit. And Hughesy threw the ball extremely well, and so did Jabba. Jabba was a guy that we had to send down to the bullpen to throw extra pitches because he was so economical, and that's really good to see.
Making your final decision, very difficult at this point.
Well, you know they're not going to make it easy on us, Kenny. I mean, it's just not the way it goes. And when you have 5 guys competing, it's healthy because it brings out the best in people, and we've seen a lot of good things.
Well, how about we're looking at the numbers now, Joe. Aceves has had a great spring. Mitre really has opened some eyes this spring.
Yeah, and we felt that he would be stronger. A year removed from Tommy John. Nice play by Chan-Ho Park. A year removed from Tommy John, an offseason to rest, because, you know, sometimes when you come back from injuries and you're working all offseason, you're fatigued by the end of the season because you really never had any off time. Well, he had off time this offseason, and he's throwing the ball well, too.
You got Chad Godin in that race as well, and he showed you some flexibility last year. You know, was able to start and pitch out of the bullpen. And I think that's a luxury with all the candidates, really. They could go to the pen if they don't win that final spot.
The only guy that really hasn't pitched out of the bullpen is Sergio much in his career. The other guys have done it. Hughesy was exceptional at it last year. Jabba's been exceptional at it. Godin's done a good job, whether it's been in Chicago, wherever he's been at. So we do have flexibility, and that's one thing that concerns me less because they know how to pitch out of the bullpen already. It's not something that we have to teach the guys that aren't, you know, the ones that don't win the 5th spot.
Joe, do you have a certain date that you have in mind that you want to pick that 5th starter?
Yeah, we're kind of looking at March 25th or 26th, so we can get them ironed out. We can get them some work in the bullpen before the season starts.
So each guy has about 2 more outings apiece?
Yeah, and it could be we might eliminate some after the next time. We're not sure. We'll continue to talk about it. I mean, the way they're pitching, it's hard to eliminate anyone, but we might have to, and you might see some of the other starters go down and throw some games in the minor league so we can see them here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, the innings are going to now become very valuable. I mean, it's going to be a tough time to evaluate or get innings for these guys trying to open up your eyes.
Yeah, it is, because they're being stretched out, and this next time through the rotation, they're going to go 5 innings. CC can go 5 or 80 pitches tomorrow, and that could be even get him into the 6th. So, I mean, it's going to get more difficult.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. You have to be happy with what you've seen from Chan-Ho Park. An easy 1-2-3 inning.
Pretty good start through the heart of that lineup. Pretty good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
So Chan-Ho Park, the first outing of spring training, did a nice job.
At Kia, we're proud to have gone where no other car company has gone before. The Kia Forte offers impressive standard horsepower with fuel efficiency, class-leading space, class-leading standard advanced technology, and class-leading standard safety features. All backed by an industry-leading warranty. When you add it all up, the Kia Forte is the obvious choice over the Corolla and Civic. And right now, we're offering 0% APR financing.
Cold, clean, iron-free. This was the water he'd been searching for, down in the hollow, where he would build his business, never varying from his recipe, staying true to the process, growing to meet a demand that would stretch far beyond the hills of Tennessee. Quite a feat for the little man from the middle of nowhere, who knew he had something so special. He was proud to give it his name.
A good reputation is difficult to attain. A reputation for unsurpassed quality and industry-leading customer service even more so. Which is why it must be earned. Every day, every mile, with every driver. We've earned ours by relentlessly asking one simple question. how can we make it even better tomorrow? Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
The Sunday Daily News is celebrating modern Yankee heroes with great commemorative magazines. Each Sunday, get a big, full-color magazine of a Yankee hero, packed with extraordinary action shots, career highlights, and stats, plus a player poster. This Sunday, get Dandy Andy Pettit, yours free only in the Sunday Daily News.
Back for the bottom of the fifth. Chan-Ho Park made his first appearance of spring training. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he set up Ibar nicely. This is a two-seam fastball that sneaks back over the inside corner for call strike 3. It kind of reminds you of Mike Messina, maybe going back a little further, Greg Maddux. That was their out pitch to left-handed hitters. And very frustrating, right, Tino?
It is frustrating, and the thing about that pitch is they usually save it for 2 strikes. They don't show it to you at all, the inside pitch, so you get 2 strikes, and that's what freezes you up a little bit. You think it's an inside fastball for a ball, and it runs back over.
Nick Swisher leading off, and his first pitch swinging is going to be a routine ground ball to Sean Rodriguez. And Nick Swisher makes the first out here in the bottom of the fifth. Saturday night on yes, the Nets have a rematch with Chris Bosh and the Raptors at the Izod Center. Complete coverage starts at 7 o'clock with the Nets pregame. Then Marv Albert and Mike Fratello have the call from courtside. Raptors Nets Saturday night at 7 o'clock, only on Yes.
Lazar of the telestream. Mike Fratello.
Bring up Jorge Posada for his third at bat of the night. 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch fastball is a ball. So Posada had a couple of at-bats right-handed. Now he switches over to the left side. Takes a changeup for ball 2. Kenny, being a switch hitter, it takes you a little longer in spring training kind of to get right from both sides?
It does. You have to work twice as hard. Used to wear a spot underneath my chin. I knew I was starting to get it together because you try and keep your shoulder in, then you swing, and I couldn't shave in one spot right underneath the chin because it got a little raw because you hadn't been hitting for a few months.
That's when you knew the good times were on their way.
Well, you were hoping.
Posada taking all the way.
So do you ever feel like you're just hot from one side and from the other side you just can't see the ball and have no chance?
Yeah, that could happen, particularly if you go for a while you don't see a left-handed pitcher and you're taking most of your at-bats left-handed. But if you're going to have a hot streak or you're going to be hot, you want to be from the left side because you're going to be up more left-handed.
So Heath Rollins works back to a full count on Jorge Posada. It's a fastball that misses, so Jorge picks up his second base on ball of the evening.
Jorge hasn't made contact tonight. A strikeout and 2 walks.
With 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth, it'll bring up Robinson Cano, who's had a tough night, has struck out twice against Carlos Hernandez. Still the numbers impressive, 417 on base, 462. And those were the first 2 strikeouts of the spring for Robinson Cano. See if he can rebound here his third at bat.
We'll just fill in that column, that's all.
Back of his mind, he's got 2 strikeouts, so facing a right-handed pitcher this time, and he wants to do something.
Especially a guy like Rollins, we talked about it, not overpowering, more of a finesse pitcher, has to hit the corners.
This is the type of guy that Cano hits hard to the opposite field. Gets that fastball moving away, and he hits those rockets between third and short. Rollins has him set up for a sinker here, thinking he might try and pull it, but Cano's not that type of hitter. He'll go with it.
Be a 2-0 delivery. It's a fastball. Robinson Cano, it's a ground ball to Pena, to Bartlett, and back to Pena. It'll be a double play. Robinson Cano hit it hard, but he hit it to the wrong guy. As Pena known for a good glove, strong throw to second base to Bartlett, right back to Pena, double play.
There's only one. Ultimate. Driving. Machine. There's only one BMW Spring Sales Drive.
exceptional offers and no-cost maintenance. Just part of BMW's unrivaled value.
Millionaire Theater presents...
We will never get this mighty dragon's treasure.
Ah, we must! It is the only way for to win the princess's love!
Sire, I just won $1 million!
Yay! My hero!
Become a March millionaire. Play $1 Million Cash Blast or one of many New York Lottery instant games offering $1 million or more.
Kyle!
What's up, Mom?
You went on a 29,000-mile joyride in my brand new BMW?
Mom, it's pre-owned.
But your father said it was new.
Yeah, new as in you didn't have it before.
Looks like new, performs like new. And with a warranty for up to 6 years or 100,000 miles, it's hard to believe it's pre-owned.
Wait till your father hears about this.
He knows all about it.
I started running. It really helped me to feel more in control. It made me feel stronger.
I'm more confident. I look forward to challenges. I look forward to going a little further, a little faster.
Running has become a part of my life, and it has really taught me about commitment and dedication.
Running gives me a lot of energy, and it gets me out there. I love Jackrabbit because they've only got the greatest sneakers there.
And they are runners, too.
So they know what things to look for in a shoe.
I love Jackrabbit.
Let's on to the 6th inning here at Steinbrenner Field with the Rays leading the Yankees by a score of 3-2 on our Ford scoreboard. 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Rays. And for the Yankees, 2 runs and 4 hits and no errors. The Yankees have made a pitching change as we go to the 6th inning. Chan-Ho Park was in there for 1 inning. Looked pretty good. A ground out, a couple of ground outs, and a strikeout. And here comes David Robertson. And a couple of numbers jump out at you right away. 63 strikeouts in 43 and 2/3 innings. And just a .216 batting average against. He has an electric arm, and the Rays are going to get a look at it here in the top half of the 6th inning. Now, moments ago, Derek Jeter warming up. And here's his throw, still maybe a little tender on that right hand after making a dive earlier again, but he's not out of the ball game. He's still in there. Upton checks his swing and takes one a little high for ball 1.
You know, a guy like Jeter and some of the veterans on the team, they have their schedule mapped out. So he's probably off tomorrow. He wants another at bat just to get another at bat in, and he's probably not severely hurt, but he knows tomorrow's off and he's probably playing the next day. Girardi gets with these guys and he tells them exactly when they're playing and when they're not playing, so they kind of have the rest of their spring training mapped out.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, the Detroit Tigers will be here. 1 ball and 1 strike on Upton, who has flied to center and tripled to right center. Check swing, foul ball, and it's 1-2.
You know, our Kim Jones was talking to Joe Madden, manager of the Rays. You see the numbers for spring training for Upton. Madden was saying that he's ecstatic with BJ's attitude this spring. You know, he's been questioned a little bit in the past. Maybe he looks a little lazy out there in center field, and manager of the Rays said he's been very pleased with his overall game, but more importantly, his attitude and focus.
Curveball, he checked his swing, and he did not go, according to first base umpire Andy Fletcher.
How do you not swing at this? It's a nasty curveball. Didn't miss by a lot, but Upton was able to check his swing.
Didn't swing at that one either, but he's out of there. Call strike 3. There's that curveball, that electric curveball from David Robertson.
Good curveball on the inner half right here. The one before that was away. This is kind of on the inner half. Straight up and down, 12-6. That's a tough one to hit. It doesn't break back over the plate. It just breaks from top to bottom, and BJ had no chance of that one.
A little jelly leg there. You see that?
We talked about this last year with Robertson. He throws those fastballs up in the zone, and then he comes back with that overhand curveball. I mean, it's going to be tough for any hitter. And you're right, BJ Upton buckled his knees.
Here's Pat Burrell, and he takes a fastball low and inside for ball 1. Burrell has walked and singled and scored a run.
Always thought that was a valuable weapon when I was catching behind the plate, to have a pitcher who was confident enough to throw his fastball up in the zone, change eye levels.
That is a booming fastball, but that's high for ball 2.
Roberts has that good cutter against to righties. He'll throw it away, away, away. Then he'll fire that 4-seam right on their hands and then bring back the curveball. So He gets them leaning out there a little bit, and then he just pounds them inside.
Behind on the count, 2-0. Broken bat, one hopper to Cano, who knocks it down, recovers, has time, and throws him out. Nice scoop by Miranda on the other end. Burrell is not the fastest of runners, and it looked like Cano had the scouting report because he took his time and didn't panic and then threw him out.
He never panics. He's always under control. Nice play right here. Just stops the ball, looks at the runner, knows he has time, picks it up, and one of the best second basemen could just flip that ball from underneath and still make a good throw over to first base for the out.
Check out Robertson as that line drive comes back up the middle. Just happy it didn't hit him between the numbers. A little smile.
You know, other pitchers watch. Marte got hit the other day. They don't want it to be them. The first pitch is in there for a strike to Sean Rodriguez. Look at those numbers this spring. 406, 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in. He's been on base 47% of the time. But tonight he's 0 for 2. Strike 2. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes.
You know, when you watch Robertson, it looks like he's throwing really hard, and then the radar gun says 88, 90 miles an hour. But it's just such a smooth delivery. The ball jumps out of his hand. It just has a little bit extra life. Plays a little bit harder than the gun.
Curveball. He tried to get Rodriguez to commit. He did not. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Talk about his delivery, and it's just nice and smooth. It's not a max effort delivery. Pitches out of the stretch. Nice and easy, and then the ball just jumps out of his hand.
There's a long stride, throws against a stiff left leg there. Curveball. Shot foul by Rodriguez.
Sean Rodriguez, one of those guys in camp that comes in possibly with a chance to make the team, and all of a sudden throws up a huge start, 400 with home runs, and puts a lot of question marks, a lot of options, I should say, over in Joe Madden's head now. Probably thinking he has a chance to make the team. We got Zobrist in second. Well, now you got Sean Rodriguez in second, Zobrist in the outfield, and things change in a hurry when a guy gets hot in spring training.
Remember, the Rays traded Akinori Iwamori to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that kind of opened up things a little bit. There is Joe Madden.
Yeah, you're right, Tino. It would make you think it's a simple decision. Zobrist plays right, Rodriguez plays second, but it doesn't seem to be that cut and dry.
2-2 pitches, swung on and missed, strike 3. David Robertson strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces here in the top of the 6th. It's on to the bottom half of the inning with the Yankees trailing 3-2.
So now you can get a great deal on any Volkswagen.
Green one.
Oh, like our award-winning CC.
White one.
Or the fuel-efficient Jetta.
Ooh, red one.
Or the Tiguan.
Black one. Oh, 2 for flinching.
Plus, every Volkswagen includes no-charge scheduled carefree maintenance.
Silver one.
Oh. On any Volkswagen?
Yeah. With great deals on all 13 models,
White one.
it's a whole new Volkswagen and a whole new game.
It's the first time you're letting your daughter shop on her own. So here's your moment of truth, Mom. Which 3G network would you trust to run apps like Family Locator when it matters most? When you want your 3G network to work, you want Verizon. Upgrade your family now and get an LG Envy Touch. Or get this Samsung Alias for just $29.99, plus add a line for just $9.99. Families can connect for less at Verizon.
Thanks to Buick's quiet tuning process and the efficiency of our standard V6 engine, this moment of solitude can be brought to you for up to 460 uninterrupted highway miles, courtesy of the all-new Buick LaCrosse. It's the new class of world class.
Now lease a 2010 Buick LaCrosse CX for just $359 per month. See dealer for details. See your local Buick dealer.
The Sunday Daily News is celebrating modern Yankee heroes with great commemorative magazines. Each Sunday, get a big, full-color magazine of a Yankee hero, packed with extraordinary action shots, career highlights, and stats, plus a player poster. This Sunday, get Dandy Andy Pettit, yours free only in the Sunday Daily News.
Well, fans, tomorrow night on Yes, catch an all-new Ford Sports Money presented by Fox Business Network. Get an in-depth look at the financial state of golf, plus a breakdown of the numbers behind the recent sales of the Charlotte Bobcats and the Texas Rangers. It's all new tomorrow night at 9:30, only on Yes. Well, the Rays have made several changes as we look at our forward scoreboard going to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees trailing by a run, 3-2. New pitcher is in there for the Rays. That's one of the changes. It's Jeff Bennett,
second base,
a right-hander who comes in. And Bennett will be facing a new hitter for the Yankees here. And the first pitch is down low, ball 1. Marcus Thames had been the DH and walked and struck out 2 at-bats. Thames walked in the second and scored. There's the numbers on Bennett with Atlanta and Tampa Bay last year. This pitch is ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Piliteri is at the plate. And that's what he did last year in the minors, and he swings and fouls one back on a 2-0 pitch. PJ had actually played a little first base the other day, and it's the first time he ever played it in a Major League Spring Training game. He said years ago, maybe in the playground and things like that, but he's a catcher by trade.
Well, you know, those catchers are just outstanding athletes, can play all over the field. Yeah. First base should not be a problem for him.
Yeah, that had been a rumor.
That's a tough adjustment for him to go out there.
Little bouncer towards short. Nice play on the short hop. And the throw is in time for out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
Nice play there by Reed Brignac.
Yeah, he has a chance, outside chance, to be a utility player. He's had a good spring with the bat.
Nice play right there, charging the ball, a little short hopper. First.
Here's Randy Wynn. Wynn is 0 for 2. Struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. Forced out a runner, I should say. Switch hitter hits one through the hole and into left field for a base hit. So a 1-out single puts a tying run on for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. Sounded like he broke his bat.
Randy Wynn, a switch hitter, is probably a better hitter from the left side. Maybe has some more power from the right side. A couple of bats right-handed tonight. His first one lefty, slaps it the other way. I was always amazed that a young kid, when he came up, he had a lot of power right-handed, but was more polished from the left side. Good stroke there, keeping his hands inside, driving it the other way.
One time he was a pretty big stolen base threat. Last year he stole 16 out of 18 for the Giants, so maybe doesn't run quite as frequently, but his success rate is there. Here's Miranda. Hits one hard, a line drive right at Brignac, throws the first for no reason. Wynn is back safely, and there are 2 down.
Good swing right here by Juan Miranda. Fastball away, stayed on it well, and hasn't had much luck. I've seen quite a few games where he's hit line drives all over the place and just hadn't had much to show for it.
The new first baseman is not Carlos Pena, that is Ryan Sheely, who had, when he first came to the big leagues, was with the Kansas City Royals. Here's Ramiro Pena, his 3rd at bat of the night. He singled, scored, and also grounded to second. Hit the ball hard in that at bat too. Another switch hitter. Ooh, upstairs, ball 1.
Pena, one of those guys, every time you see him play, he seems to do something that helps you win a ball game. It's a big base hit, maybe makes a play in the field.
That pitch is high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Kind of a problem, I guess, for Joe Girardi and his staff. Still a young player, and how does he make this team as a utility guy and get enough at bats? It's something to pay attention to.
That pitch is in there for a strike. You know, most organizations with younger players, they like to have them play, and that's why, you know, Pena might be going to Scranton Wilkes-Barre. You never know.
And you have to wonder what Ramiro Pena is thinking at the same time. He's thinking, do I want to be up here with the Yankees and be a utility guy, part-time player, or have a chance to maybe get traded somewhere and be a starting big league second baseman or shortstop?
Well, to me, it's no question he can play shortstop. We've seen some outstanding plays from Pena. Now, the Yankees have made it more valuable because he can play second and third. But another team might see him, hey, this guy could be our shortstop. Pitch is hit in the air to left field on the run and can't get it. Ball drops in for a base hit. Stopping at second is Wynn, and Pena has his second hit of the night. He is 2 for 3. And we're going to take a look at the Rays defense now. It's Johnson in left, Ruggiano in center, Johnson and Johnson in the outfield, Fermaniak at second, Elliott Johnson and Dan Johnson. That's who is in the outfield. Angel Chavez is now at third base. So that's the Rays' current defense. Stay tuned. Two on, two out. And now to the top of the order for the Yankees. And is that Colin Curtis? Yeah, that's who it is. 235, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs last year with Scranton Wilkes-Barre in 70 ball games. He's hitting in the leadoff spot. Derek Jeter was 2 for 3 with a double, single, and a couple of runs batted in while he was in there. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Navarro.
Well, we talked about Jorge Posada, and you want to find out where your throwing is. Also behind the plate, you want to know where you are blocking baseballs. A big curveball from Bennett. Watch Navarro just deaden the ball right off his chest protector. Perfect. You want to always aim towards the plate, redirect it back towards home plate. Nice play.
Is that textbook?
That is textbook. At this point in spring training, like anything else, you want to just make sure that you're on point. Look pretty good there.
1-1 pitch is downstairs, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Tino, this is what managers are looking for from young players too, how they come through in the clutch. You remember your early days, spring training, big league camp?
These were tough at bats on me. Come off the bench, men on base, your first at bat. You might get 1 at bat a game, maybe 2 if you're lucky, and you want to make the most of them. They're hard to really get your timing down, but in a guy like Colin Curtis' situation, 26, 27-year-old kid who's got to show something here soon, and he wants to have, get at bat here and make an impression.
Well, the first game of spring training, and a walk-off home run in the 9th inning against the Pittsburgh here at Steinbrenner Field. He's ahead on the count here, 3-1. Swings and misses, and the count is now full 3-2.
Well, Curtis swung through that fastball, but you love his attitude there. I mean, a 3-1 count. He said, you know what, I'm going to take a chance to do some damage here, and he swings right over the top. Watch the approach. He had one thing in mind here. Get a fastball, get the head out, and try to drive it. Like his attitude, Tino.
I like it.
Runners go, and the pitch is fouled off, and we'll do it all over again.
And that's not a bad 3-1 swing there. He swung hard, went for the downs right there, knowing that, hey, if I miss it, I still got another one coming. So, very good approach there by Colin Curtis.
All the notes on the back of that piece of paper. Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, writing things down with every at bat, what he liked, maybe what he didn't like. We'll try to work on it the next day.
Runners go on the 3-2 pitch, and it's driven to right field and deep. This one is gone. Colin Curtis has done it again. His second 3-run homer of the spring, and the Yankees jump out by a 5-3 score. I think he'll be writing down something positive right now. That'll open some eyes.
Well, the 3-1 swing opened my eyes. You see, he had the right frame of mind trying to do some damage. Got 3 fastballs in a row. Navarro sets up away. It ends up middle in. That happy zone for a left-handed hitter.
Nice job right there. Nice job of hitting. Fastball middle in, like you said. Stayed down and through it. Left-handed hitters like the ball down. Just drop the head on it. Ball just jumped out of here.
That kind of reminded me of one of your swings. Greg Golson up at the plate. Speedster takes over for Granderson. What Golson did last season. Not much power, but he's got tremendous speed. That pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. So Bennett got it to 3-2. Tried to throw that second fastball by Curtis. He would have none of it. That pitch is low. 3 balls and no strikes. Maybe scared him out of the strike zone. (5-3) Yankees lead here in the 6th. And that is a 4-pitch walk to Golson. Now we might see some of that speed come into play. Joe Madden talking on over with his pitching coach, Jim Hickey. Now, you only bring so many pitchers. And Bennett has given up 3 hits and a walk in this inning. Now, Reed Gurecki will come to the plate.
So Bennett there flexing his right throwing elbow, something that coaches and trainers are always paying attention to the pitcher. See, maybe he's having some discomfort in that pitching arm.
Pitches upstairs, ball 1. He hasn't thrown a strike since giving up the home run, and now Jim Hickey's going to go out to the mound and talk to him.
Sometimes when a young pitcher gives up a home run like he did to Colin Curtis there, they try to hump up a little bit. Next time throw harder than what they're capable of, and the ball stays up in the zone, and he's got to just find a way to get his groove back and stay within himself.
It's also the catcher's job. Slow him down a little bit, maybe go to some off-speed pitches, see if you can get him back on track. Toughest part of spring training, trying to develop that chemistry with a pitcher. Like you said, you don't even catch these guys in the bullpen sometimes.
Runner's not going. The pitch is inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Been a rocky 6th inning for Jeff Bennett. There's the call strike, and it's 2-1 as he finds the strike zone.
He's taking a lot off. That was an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. You see he's shaking his hand again. If I'm catching, you pay attention to things like that, then maybe he's having a little discomfort.
Runner goes. Pitch is high. The throw to second is on the mark, and Golson has been thrown out by Deontay Navarro. But the Yankees pick up 3 runs, a couple of singles, and a 3-run home run off the bat of Colin Curtis. It's 5-3 Yankees at the end of 6.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Come out to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Don't miss calendar weekend on Saturday, April 17th and Sunday, April 18th when the Yankees play the Rangers. All fans in attendance at either game will receive a 2010 Yankees calendar, courtesy of Subway. In 2010, come home to Yankee Stadium, the home of champions.
Honda Accord and Toyota Camry stand behind their powertrain for up to 60,000 miles. Chevy Malibu stands behind theirs for up to 100,000 miles, which makes it pretty clear who's standing out front. The Consumer's Digest Best Buy 2 years running. Chevy Malibu. Compare it to anyone, and may the best car win. Now, qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on this 2010 Malibu LS for around $199 a month. Call for details. See your local Chevy dealer.
1 year after you quit smoking, your risk of heart disease is cut in half. But right now, you're a heart attack waiting to happen. Every cigarette makes you sick. For help, call 311.
Hi, I'm PC, your predictably correct morning radio guy.
He's not PC, not predictable. He's Imus.
So he's...
opinionated, irreverent.
I make my big-name guests comfortable so they talk.
He does bigger names and makes them uncomfortable so they squirm. Then they talk.
You want them to squirm?
Yeah, makes it more interesting.
The new Imus on 77 WABC.
That's on to the 7th inning. The Yankees leading by a score of 5-3. A little bit earlier, our Kim Jones had a chance to catch up with tonight's starting pitcher for the Yankees. That was Javier Vasquez. And Kim, just outside of the Yankee clubhouse, talked to the right-hander.
Thank you, Kenny. I'm joined by tonight's starter, Javi Vasquez. And Javi, 3 starts in, 3 to go in spring training. How do you gauge your progress?
Well, right now, we're up to 62, 63 pitches. So, right now I think I'm on pace to hopefully, throw 100 by time we leave camp.
You told Dave Island tonight you didn't have that many pitches, right? You wanted to stay in there.
Well, I mean, when he told me I had 62, I was like, wow, I didn't know I had 62. But you know, I felt good, I felt strong, and if you know, I felt like I could have kept going. Obviously, you're not gonna go, but you know, I felt like I could go.
When you talked to some of us in the clubhouse, the reporters meeting you, you mentioned a couple mechanical flaws with the fastball tonight, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting you know, under my fastball a little bit, and instead of staying on top. But you know, that's just part of spring training, and then hopefully I'll work that out in the next few starts.
What is it like for you? You've obviously been in the AL, including with the Yankees. You certainly came over from the NL. Switching leagues when you've already done it. Is it the same as guys who talk about the difficulty sometimes?
Well, you know, obviously you're going to face a DH in the American League, and that's always a tough challenge because most DH are great hitters in the American League. And, you know, obviously going from facing the pitcher every time, 3 times a game, that's much easier than facing the DH, so that's always a big adjustment.
It's incredible that you're 6 years removed from your Yankees' previous stop, and yet it's Posada catching you still. Feel like old times? Did the two of you just get right back into a groove?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I know, you know, Georgie, his last time here, you know, he called me a lot. So, you know, we have a good relationship, and we're on the same page, and you know, just continue to work.
Well, it's quite a rotation. We'll talk to you many times this season, Javi. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, Kenny.
Well, thank you, Kim. As we now in the 7th inning, Vasquez feeling pretty good about his outing as we're in the 7th.
We got a new pitcher for the Yankees, Mark Melanson. Came in to face Navarro and proceeded to walk him. You see the numbers for last year for Mark. 13 hits and 16 in the 3rd innings, a respectable ERA, but has to work on the walk total. It's been impressive this spring trying to fight his way into that Yankee bullpen. So Reed Brignac, who took over at shortstop for the Rays last inning, placing Jason Bartlett, will get his first at bat of the evening. Melanson misses with a fastball. Having a good spring training, fighting to get on this team as a utility player. 379. Look at that, 13 RBIs.
Wow, in 12 games.
12 games. Navarro not much of a lead over there. A lot of changes here in the 7th inning for the Yankees. We'll take a look. Curtis in left field, Golson in center, Gurecki in right, Nunez, Russo, Corona, Weber, and Austin Romine behind the plate. And we already mentioned Mark Melanson taking over here in the 7th. Good fastball for a strike.
Melanson, one of those guys who could be called up if somebody happens to go down during the season. He's one of their top pitching prospects. Got great stuff. Good fastball and a very, very good curveball.
2-1. It's a fastball slapped the other way, foul by Brignac. Rays manager Joe Madden on Reed Brignac. Reed is really one of the better young shortstops, I think, coming up in the baseball period.
He's sort of like in the Pena situation. Bartlett's not going anywhere. He was an all-star shortstop last year.
Curveball misses.
Rays have the luxury of holding on to Brignac a little bit. Options to send him down or keep him as a utility guy, so.
On a full count, we'll see if Navarro is going to be on the move at first base. Gets a walking lead, and he's running. Brignac fouls off a fastball. Had a good swing. We know the Rays are always going to be aggressive on the base paths. 194 stolen bases last year, which was first in the league. Even though they're down 2 runs, Joe Madden has his catcher Navarro on the run with a full count. We'll do it again, another 3-2. Navarro is running again, and again Brignac fouls it off.
It's almost a carbon copy of the last pitch. You know, if you're a player like Brignac, you got a chance maybe to play shortstop every day at AAA Durham, or be on the Rays and maybe not play all that much, because when you look at their infield, if Zobrist plays second, it's an all-star infield. It can be with Pena, Zobrist, Bartlett, and Longoria. You might not play at all.
You might not. The thing is, you want to be in the big leagues.
It's a strikeout. Navarro's running. Romine, a good throw to second base. It's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. An impressive throw from Austin Romine.
Well, one of the things they say about Austin Romine is his ability to catch and throw. And he throws out Navarro. Navarro, you know, he's a catcher, I know that, but he stole 5 out of 7 last year. The Rays run. And right now they've run themselves into a double play. As Kevin Russo is going to apply the tag. Quick release. And there's 2 outs, nobody on.
Brings up Elliott Johnson. Squared to bunt, but takes a curveball for ball 1. Elliott playing right field. Oh, it's chopped to the right side. First baseman John Weber takes it. It's going to be an easy play. So after a leadoff walk, Mark Melanson works his way out of some trouble. Has a pretty easy inning.
Want to know what it takes to be a leader? How about just being the best? Like Ford Escape. This SUV gets up to an unbelievable 28 miles per gallon. And during our leadership sales drive, you can get 0% financing plus $2,000 cash back. That's both 0% and $2,000 cash. Plus, Ford has quality that is unsurpassed by Honda and Toyota. And now you can lease for only $239 a month. Ford Escape. Less stops at the pump. More savings in your wallet. The leadership sales drive at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
It's time for...
Welcome back. These television providers claim to offer great value. Judges, who will you believe?
We're the biggest value in entertainment.
We offer the same TV as DirecTV for less.
Does the same include channels like AMC, Animal Planet, Bravo, FX?
Not in our basic package like yours.
Judges?
In your face. In your face.
Now that you've got the truth, get DirecTV. Stay tuned.
As long as we're winding up our doing dials, let's wind them with precision. Open our throttle to even more selection and turn that savings swagger up full tilt. So when the time comes to bust open a can of doing, we've got all the tools for all the things we need to make them happen. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get Scott's Naturescapes mulch for the new lower price of just $3.88.
Years ago, the world was faced with a challenge. And Lexus responded by building the world's first luxury hybrid. Today, Lexus has 4 hybrid models on the road, including the HS, the most fuel-efficient of all luxury vehicles. Lease the 2010 HS 250H for $399 a month for 36 months, with $700 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Back for the bottom of the 7th, the Yankees lead 5-3. 7 hits for the Yankees, 5 for the Rays. Reed Gurecki is going to lead off the bottom of the 7th against Heath Phillips. A little check swing, chop foul. Number 66, Reed Gurecki. You see the numbers. AAA Omaha for Phillips last year, 175 hits and 149 2/3. 111 strikeouts, respectable.
Yeah, 2-to-1 on the more than 2-to-1 on the strikeout to walk ratio. A little cutter right there.
See the numbers last year with the Braves. Limited at bats, only 31 games. The 1-1 from Phillips looked like a changeup, and it's roped into left field by Gurecki. The leadoff base hit in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, let's go back to Tampa Bay Devil Rays history. And wow, this is Mr. Martinez. I recognize that swing anywhere. This is his 300th career home run. Hit in Japan.
In Japan. Went a long way for that one, Kenny.
Yeah, you did. You smile a lot on the way back.
That was the first game of the year out there in Japan, a long way, but when you get that first home run, the first RBI, it's a good feeling to get those out of the way with.
I remember that Mike Mussina pitched that game. Is that right? You remember?
Yes, he did. He started the game.
You know what? When you hit a home run, you fill 2 columns. It's actually 3. A run scored as well. Felix Heredia A left-hander.
Left on left.
Oh, my goodness. You were mid-season form, Tino.
I think they sent him out when they got back to the States.
They didn't want to waste a plane ticket. Just get on our plane and go back.
You gave a homer to Tino. Shoot.
Austin Romine spills one out to right field, and a nice play by Fermaniak. Covered a lot of distance. Be the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Take another look at this play. Long run for Fermaniak, and well, he's the only one who really has a chance to make this play, and he almost dropped it. Crosses into foul territory, but nice running catch by the Rays second baseman. Another look at it, another angle, same result.
With one out, it'll bring up Regi Corona. Took over at second base for Robinson Cano. See the numbers last year with Scranton in 44 games. Gurecki taking his lead off of first. Not running. Corona takes a first pitch strike.
Yankees have some good-looking young players in their system here. Corona's a solid glove man.
The 0-1 from Phillips, a good changeup as Corona swings over the top.
You know, one thing about Phillips in that changeup, he kind of shows it, though. To me, he slowed down his arm, and I think that's what Gurecki was able to take advantage of. You know, you look out there at the pitcher, he just does anything different. And to me, it tells me it's a changeup.
They telegraph it.
Exactly.
As soon as you see that, it makes you sit back a hair longer and get a better swing at the pitch.
So Corona in the hole, 0-2. Look like a cutter. It'll be strike 3 on a swing and a miss.
Let's go back in the time machine once again. And what do we come? John Flaherty. That's well hit.
How could you see?
Yeah, that's Gap City.
You had your eyes covered.
Back in the Devil Ray, man, he was all-around player.
I remember this one. Opening day.
That's in Baltimore.
1999.
Oh, the wind must be blowing out.
Oh, whoa. Wow, I thought we were getting along so well up here, too.
You know, I get him out of the way in spring training.
A high five Wade Boggs there at the end.
I remember that opening day. See, Gurecki got a great jump. Able to steal second, get into scoring position with 2 outs. But I remember that opening day. Mike Mussina pitched against us. Take a look again at Gurecki's lead. Great jump. Get into scoring position easily. But Moose pitched that game, and I hit 4 bullets off him right at people. Could not buy a hit. Then Arthur Rhodes came in to finish up. So I needed that home run, Kenny. You put me on the board.
You deserved
1 for 5. I earned it. I earned it.
You actually filled 3 columns. A home run, RBI, and a run scored.
That's right. So Mike Mussina was connected in both of those highlights in some ways, Tino. You got that opening night start in Japan off of him.
Yep.
I got the start, went 0 for 4 off him.
Did you guys actually remind him of that when you saw him later?
You know what? When I had my first spring training here with the Yankees, and I asked Mike, I said, hey, you know, when I went to the plate, what did you think? And he said, oh, I always thought you hit the ball hard, which I always felt the same way. My career batting average, I think, was 180 off him. But it was a hard 180, is what I like to say. 1-1 to Piliteri. Hits it hard to the left side. It's out of the reach of Brignac. Gurecki's going to try to score. Here comes the throw from Johnson. It's not going to be in time. So P.J. Piliteri comes up with a 2-out RBI base hit. The Yankees now lead 6-3.
I'll tell you what, it's been the Yankee bench players tonight who've come up swinging. Curtis with a 3-run homer. Now Piliteri with a base hit. The drives and a run. Give Gurecki credit. Stealing a bag, getting into scoring position. Left fielder here, Dan Johnson, looks like he double clutches. and just heaves it towards the home plate, trying to get it near home plate.
Once you double clutch, you just got to eat it. Just put it back in your pocket, throw it to second base, and
it's not going to work.
Keep it clean out there.
With 2 outs, it'll bring up Kevin Russo. He's gotten a lot of playing time here in spring training. Takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. See the numbers last year with Scranton, 326.
Here's my young hitter of the spring. He's got a good approach, doesn't swing at very many bad pitches, lets the ball travel. See, checks his swing. A lot of guys would have swung at that.
I agree, Kenny. I mean, you know, every time you see him come up to the plate, it's just a very simple, short, compact swing. And you can see why he had those good numbers at AAA.
Yeah, 326 last year. Actually was in contention for the batting title for a while.
And they're well coached. Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach, and Butch Weiniger, the AAA hitting coach, work well together, and they have a game plan for all the hitters, not just the big leaguers.
Russo hits it to right field and hits it pretty well. It's going to be off the glove of Elliott Johnson. Pilateri's going to get all the way to third. Again, we talked about that simple swing. Johnson playing a shallow right field. Got burned there.
Elliott Johnson, I believe, came up as an infielder, and it kind of looked like it on this one. He got a bad jump and then tried to scramble back after it. You can see Russo hits the ball well to the opposite field. Waited on that one. Here's Johnson. Oh, almost. In and out. Heartbreak. And runners at first and third. How did they score that? That's a hit.
That's a base hit.
Give me a hit, yeah.
Tell you what, you hit a ball hard the other way, you got to be rewarded with a base hit. With 2 outs, we have John Weber. Little left on left here facing Heath Phillips. Pilateri at third. Russo at first. John Weber hitting. Slider in the dirt is blocked by Alvin Polina, new Rays catcher. Tino, you and I were talking about John Weber today by the batting cage. This guy just looks like a hitter, you know. Before he even swings the bat, when he steps in there, guy looks like he knows what he's doing.
He does. He just stands there and you just feel like he's hit the ball hard somewhere every time. Just a short, compact swing and stocky body, strong dude.
Just give you a little Matt Stairs look.
I was just thinking that, Kenny.
I knew you were, so that's why I said it.
It almost looks like that slow pitch softball approach, you know, just stand tall.
And he's so relaxed up there. How relaxed he is. Just nice and easy and knows he can hit.
And a good count here, 2-0. See if he gets a fastball to lean on, and he doesn't. He gets an off-speed pitch, hits it well to center field. Ruggiano going back, and he makes the play. Ruggiano covered a lot of ground out there in center field to make the final out. But the Yankees add another run here in the bottom of the 7th. They lead 6-3.
I've been told to desire a red Italian sports car.
I've been told beige and predictable fit my lifestyle.
We've been told hollow status symbols are the goal.
I've been told it captures my essence.
Break the spell at your local Audi dealer today.
Change the way you feel about moving with one call to DirecTV. Then experience our award-winning customer satisfaction, including free professional installation at your new home, a free DVR or HD receiver upgrade. Plus, ask about getting 21 of the best movie channels free for 3 months. It all adds up to over $200 in additional savings. The 5-Star Movers Connection. Compliments of DirecTV.
Millionaire Theater presents...
We will never get this mighty dragon's treasure.
Now we must. It is the only way for to win the princess's love.
Sire, I just won $1 million.
Yay, my hero!
Become a March millionaire. Play $1 Million Cash Blast or one of many New York Lottery instant games offering $1 million or more.
Class, pass your test forward.
See what happens when kids go to school with the flu? They can easily pass their germs to everyone in the classroom. To keep them healthy, make sure kids get the seasonal flu vaccine right now and novel H1N1 vaccine when it's available. If they're sick, keep them home and teach them to wash their hands often or use hand sanitizer to reduce the spread of germs. A message from your state and local health departments to know what to do about the flu.
Well, Mark Melancon had a 1-2-3 7th, so he's still in there in the 8th inning, facing Justin Ruggiano, the center fielder for the Rays. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 6-3, Yankees leading, getting to the latter stages of the ball game. Pitch is hit well to left center field. Going back is Curtis near the warning track, and this ball will hop up against the wall. Ruggiano to second. He's trying for third. Here's the throw, and he is safe. The ball got away and hit third base coach Tom Foley. But the Rays will get themselves a leadoff triple. Foley's limping around. I think that one smarted a bit. But a leadoff triple for Justin Ruggiano.
Great at bat here by Justin Ruggiano. The fastball right down the middle, just stayed right on it. Maybe got under just a hair kept it from going out of the ballpark, but really drove that ball to left center really well.
Yeah, it looked like he thought it was a home run. He kind of came out of the box feeling good about himself. The wind not really blowing a whole lot right now. Stretches it into a triple.
So Ruggiano at third with nobody out. And the first pitch is over the outside corner for a call strike.
He came out of the box. He felt pretty good about his chances to have a home run. You see him get around second base, kind of kicks it into another gear. So Ruggiano made a nice play in center field to end the 7th. Leads off the 8th with a triple.
That pitch is low for a ball. Ball on a strike on Dan Johnson. Second triple of the night for the Rays. B.J. Upton had one in the 4th inning and eventually scored. Melanson deals, look like an off-speed pitch, and it's low for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Here's another young pitcher with an electric arm. Melanson spent some times in big leagues last year, back and forth between the Bronx and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Oh, that just missed. A little bit low, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Isn't that, I mean, that first year is so huge. I mean, he was up and down AAA big leagues, but kind of to get that out of your system. Now you come back to spring training, you almost feel like a big leaguer. You know, you're ready to go, look forward to a big year, see if he gets an opportunity.
Broken bat, grounded to short and off the glove of Russo. Johnson will reach safely, and Ruggiano will score. Well, fans come to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Individual game tickets go on sale tomorrow. That's tomorrow, Friday, March 19th, and that's at noon. Go to Yankees.com, YankeesBaseball.com, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Beginning March 24th, tickets will be available at Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankee Clubhouse shops, and all area Ticketmaster outlets. So a chance to get your Yankee tickets starting tomorrow. Should be another exciting season. Here's Ryan Shealy at the plate. That is going to go as an error on Russo. It allows the run to score. I think Johnson would get an RBI on that. I think he would. Because the play would have been at first. Here's Shealy, former Kansas City Royal, and he pops one up near the pitcher's mound. Who's going to call for it? It's going to be Romine who makes the catch for out number 2.
It looks like an easy play for the catcher, Romine, but it really isn't. I mean, this ball really has some distance to it in the fact that the first baseman or the third baseman probably should call off Romine. A nice play to get himself turned around towards home plate. A little basket catch.
He kind of made it look easy.
It was a lot tougher than it looked. Wow.
Is this the catcher, Kalina? Melanson deals, and it's a knee-high strike.
third baseman Chavez, maybe.
Yeah, it could be him. That's who I believe it is. We have seen him before. Pawtucket. Breaking ball drops a little bit low for a ball. One ball, one strike.
McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Spent too many years there, guys.
I've never been there. I heard it's one of the greatest hitting ballparks in the world.
I've never played there either.
It is a short porch, a great place to play, but when you're there for parts of 4 years, I had enough of Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Not so great.
Could have run for mayor in that town.
There so long you could have voted, huh?
Yeah.
Pitch is hit hard to right field. Gorecki is there and makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, Pino, what'd you spend, like 50 days in the minor leagues?
I did my time in the minor leagues. I spent a full year in AA, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, in the Eastern League. Some tough travel there, terrible ballparks. And then I spent half a year in Calgary, AAA, got called up. Went back the next year to Calgary again and got called up.
Wait a second, that's putting your time in?
So I had to go out of the country to play minor league baseball and have a chance to make the big leagues.
Sorry if I don't sound sympathetic.
Calgary is a great town, great place to play minor league baseball.
Pitches high for ball 1 to Frank.
Bonus baby, gets pushed through the minor leagues. Everything handed to you.
Pushed?
I worked my way through there. I had some good numbers in the minor leagues.
You haven't told us what the total time was.
Well, 1 full year in AA, most of the year the next year in AAA, and then most of the next year. So I guess 2 years,
2 years.
A little over 2 years.
All right.
How about you, Kenny?
I did 3.
But I was fortunate to come up with the Seattle Mariners at that time in 1990, 89-90, where the team was struggling. They pushed the young guys faster because they needed, players. They didn't have any big league players that were, worth keeping around too long. So we all got an opportunity and a shot to get there quicker.
Yeah, 3 years, but the whole key is when you get to the big leagues, you don't go back to the minor leagues.
That's right.
So I never went back. So
I didn't figure that part out. I was back and forth for, I think, 3 years.
You missed Pawtucket?
Up and down Pawtucket, Toledo to Detroit.
San Diego, that's a nice stop.
That worked out pretty good. Actually, saw Kevin Towers today, who's working for the New York Yankees now as a scout. Used to be the general manager of the Padres.
So he'll be scouting out on the West Coast for the Yankees?
He said it was his first time ever at Steinbrenner Field today.
Wow.
Very impressed with the facilities.
Strike 3 call on Frank, and Melanson's going to get out of it. He gives up 1 run. There was 1 error and 1 man left. At the end of 7.5 here at Steinbrenner Field, the Yankees lead the Rays 6-4.
At Kia, we're proud to have gone where no other car company has gone before. The Kia Forte offers impressive standard horsepower with fuel efficiency, class-leading space, class-leading standard advanced technology, and class-leading standard safety features. All backed by an industry-leading warranty. When you add it all up, the Kia Forte is the obvious choice over the Corolla and Civic. And right now, we're offering 0% APR financing.
8 hours after you quit smoking, your blood oxygen level returns to normal. In 3 months, your lung function improves up to 30%. And 10 years after you quit, your risk of dying from lung cancer is about half that of a smoker. But right now, you're 1 cigarette closer to cancer. Every cigarette makes you sick. Quit smoking today. For help, call 311 or visit nyc.gov/nycquits.
It's the first time you're letting your daughter shop on her own. So here's your moment of truth, Mom. Which 3G network would you trust to run apps like Family Locator when it matters most? When you want your 3G network to work, you want Verizon. Upgrade your family now and get an LG Envy Touch. Or get this Samsung Alias for just $29.99, plus add a line for just $9.99. Families can connect for less at Verizon.
Was it the number 7 train that carried his barrels across the land? Or was 7 simply his lucky number? Some say there were 7 women in his life, but one held a special place in his heart. truth is, only Jack Daniel knows the true meaning of old number 7. And we won't be hearing from him anytime soon.
Hey, Yankee fans, can't wait for the 2010 season to begin? Subscribe now to MLB.tv to see over 150 select spring training games, plus every regular season game live or on demand on your computer. For complete details, visit Yankees.com. There's baseball everywhere. Dale Thayer is the new pitcher. And he deals a pitch that is a little bit low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Eduardo Nunez is the hitter. 11 games in the big leagues last year.
You just saw a couple of guys down the batting cage underneath the stadium taking some swings. A lot of times players will come out of a game and didn't feel too good, want to get a little extra swings down there, and great facilities here at Steinbrenner Field allows them to get a little extra work in, even though the game is not over.
I don't know about you guys, but when I watch those players take swings in there, I don't miss that part of the game at all. Working on your swing, trying to get right. Such a mental grind.
What?
Trying to hit at the big league level. Kenny, it wasn't easy for all of us.
This is the fun part of the game, hitting.
Hitting was work. Catching was the fun part. You guys made the hitting look easy.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy. Broken bat grounded to short for Brignac. He does look nice over short. Very smooth. There's one down. Oh. We got numbers from the minor leagues.
See to that, 387.
Fast tracking.
It's a lot of games.
416.
539 is a lot of games.
It's not a lifetime. Any more research on the numbers from the minor leagues?
Just don't go to batting averages and home runs, please. Please.
You know what? My home run totals weren't that great because I wasn't a home run hitter till my final year in AAA. Colin Curtis was a home run hitter. His last at bat, a 3-run home run.
Tino Martinez was a home run hitter. We actually battled in college. George Washington University came down to battle the University of Tampa. The great Tino Martinez.
You guys used to come down from up north during spring break.
I sense a story here. There's a pitch for a strike.
All white. Their skin was white, okay? And I'm not sure what hotels they stayed at, but they would sit by the pool all day. The next day at the ball game, their skin was red, their face was red. They had sunblock, suntan lotion. They were a mess.
Curtis takes a pitch low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, here's my point about the Southern schools. They had such an advantage early. These guys hadn't been out of the gym. You guys are on the field practicing, and you come down and you just smoke these guys every time. Ground ball to second. And the throw was in time by Fermerniak to throw out Colin Curtis for out number 2.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, and any team, because my son played at Clemson, and they would practice outside too. It was warm enough in South Carolina, and these teams like Old Dominion and teams from Maine would come down and play them. They had no chance. It was 15-3 by the 3rd inning.
We used to pad our stats against the northern teams. We had already played probably, I'd say, at least 10 games before your guys' first game.
Before your conference schedule started.
Right.
Here's Greg Golson.
A lot of Yankee connections that year. I mean, that was probably 1988. Both you and I were juniors in college. Dave Island was pitching at the University of South Florida.
Yes, he was.
Pitching coach for the Yankees.
Greg Golson takes a strike. Keep going.
God, those are my Yankee connections right there.
You'd be surprised. You know, the 6 degrees of separation they talk about. Pitch is hit in the air, foul, and it's 0-2 on Golson. But how many connections there are in baseball among the players who played either with somebody you played with or against somebody you played with, and just they tell story after story about what happened between those players, and it all binds. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Thayer has a good 1-2-3 inning. Here in the 8th, it's on to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Rays. Yankees lead 6-4.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Make plans for the 2010 season and host your group in a Yankee Stadium suite. Suites are perfect for entertaining family, friends, and business associates. Sizes range from 12 to 74 guests, and all suites feature all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage packages. For more information, call 646-977-8900 or visit yankees.com/suites.
It's time for...
Welcome back. These television providers claim to offer great value. Judges, who will you believe?
We're the biggest value in entertainment.
We offer the same TV as DirecTV for less.
Does the same include channels like AMC, Animal Planet, Bravo, FX?
Not in our basic package like yours.
Judges?
In your face. In your face.
Now that you've got the truth, get DirecTV. Stay tuned.
There's only one. Ultimate. Driving. Machine. There's only one BMW Spring Sales Drive. Exceptional offers and no-cost maintenance. Just part of BMW's unrivaled value.
The Sunday Daily News is celebrating modern Yankee heroes with great commemorative magazines. Each Sunday, get a big, full-color magazine of a Yankee hero, packed with extraordinary action shots, career highlights, and stats, plus a player poster. This Sunday, get Dandy Andy Pettit, yours free only in the Sunday Daily News.
Well, fans, tonight's Game on Yes is brought to you in part by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. By the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Hyundai. Think Hyundai, but act now for special lease deals at your Hyundai dealer. And we also like to remind you that tomorrow's game at 1 p.m. will be right here on Yes. And for fans who are watching, you'll see a double treat. CC Sabathia will start the game, and Mariano Rivera will make his second spring appearance. The Yankees are actually playing split squad tomorrow, I believe. The rest of the team's playing a night game down at Port Charlotte against these Rays. Dustin Mosley is the new pitcher for the Yankees here in the ninth inning. Last chance for the Rays. The Yankees are leading 6-4.
We were talking to some of the coaches today before the game. Split squad. They're going to be coaching here in the afternoon, then go down to Port Charlotte at night.
Ground ball to first. And the flip to Mosley covering, and there is one down here tonight. Fans, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So one man up, one man down. That's a nice glove, isn't it? Matching hat. All decked out. Tell who she's rooting for. Here's Kalina, the catcher. Yankees up by 2. The Rays have 2 more outs to work with. It pitch is low and away for ball 1. Alvin Kalina, 5 games in spring training. He's gotten 4 at-bats. That kind of tells you he's a late inning replacement. He's 1 for 4, though. He's got 1 in the hit column. 1-0 pitch, bouncing ball, slowly hit the short for Russo. Comes up with it, throws the first, and the Rays are down to their last out. One thing the Yankees are looking at from Russo, they know he can play third. He's played some second in spring training, but they're not sure about shortstop, and that's why he's spending some time at short in these games. So 2 outs, nobody on, and Reed Brignac represents the Rays' last hope. Brignac struck out into a double play in the 7th inning. And the first pitch from Mosley is downstairs for ball 1.
Getting back to your point there, John, earlier, the coaching staff tomorrow, manager Joe Girardi, pitching coach Dave Island, and I believe hitting coach Kevin Long have to do the game here at 1 o'clock. When that game's over, they got to make the 2-hour drive down to Port Charlotte to watch the night game. So they got a long day ahead of them tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Tino. And the reason is because people aren't aware of how hard the coaches have to work. I mean, they are here early, they stay late, they have to make decisions along with manager Joe Girardi and general manager Brian Cashman. It's getting to be that time of spring when you're starting to make cuts. You got to get down to the 25-man limit eventually before breaking camp, and it's not easy to do. You know, you have some guys that are on the fence. You have two players that maybe performed at about the same level, and you're going to have to pick one of them. That pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Brignac. So they're here for the game tomorrow, and then have to drive down to Port Charlotte. I wonder if they, change it, keep the unis on.
Well, they got to change tomorrow. They'll have the home uni on here and the road one once they hit the cars.
That's right. Throw to first, and no! The throw by Corona pulls Weber off the bag. And we're going to go a little further. That should be E4 on the throw.
Take a look at Corona. Kind of gets underneath it, sails it a little bit. It looked like Weber was still on first base. We'll get another look. Kind of drops his arm. See Weber shifting his weight. Looked like he was on first base. Maybe a bad call by Marty Foster over there.
I'm not so sure. I mean, it's hard to tell, but this is going to keep the game going. Is bring the tying run to the plate. Is this Elliott Johnson? Elliott Johnson grounded out his first time up. And he takes a pitch in there for a call strike.
Well, you have a routine play like that and a throwing error is made and you have a 2-run ball game. You start thinking the worst possible thoughts here. One swing of the bat could be going deeper into this ball game.
That only happened back in the Double Ray days. 1 ball and 1 strike on Elliott Johnson.
Quite often.
Yeah. You know, Tropicana Field is shaking its nickname. It used to be the home of the bottom of the ninth, remember? That pitch is a call strike, and it's 1-2. The Rays are down to their last strike. But a couple of years ago, the Rays were winning so many games in their late in ball games, it kind of shook that nickname. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 man on. Yankees leading by 2. Johnson swings and lines it foul into the seats. And the count remains 1-2. We had a sellout crowd on hand here tonight to see this one. The Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Watch Mosley there drop a slider on the inner half to Johnson. He started being a catcher, you have bad thoughts right here. You throw anything inside, drop the head, little tie ball game.
Pitch is fouled off. Johnson's hanging tough.
Stay away from him. Make him hit the ball the other way.
An old catcher's coming out, Tino. He's thinking, so close to the after game spread. You know, he's trying to think of what the meal's going to be after the game. The 1-2 pitch. There it is. Call strike 3. Time to eat, Flash. Mosley strikes out Johnson, and the Rays do not score here in the top of the 9th inning. The Yankees put this one in the win column. They win by a score of 6-4. 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Yankees getting some timely hitting from some bench players tonight. It's pretty good pitching from the starter, Javier Vasquez. We'll be back with more right here from Steinbrenner Field.
The Laurel is a reward for achievement. Reward yourself at the Cadillac Laurel event with a CTS sports sedan. Visit soon, because while there is no expiration date on achievement, on rewarding it, there is.
Qualified current lessees visit CadillacTristate.com.
With the Verizon Fios multi-room DVR, whatever you record here, you can watch in up to 6 different rooms. If you record hockey, you can watch it in the basement.
Yes.
Snowboarding in the bedroom?
Yes.
Or ice dancing in the kitchen.
Yes.
I'm not sure why I said yes. That was weird.
Record all your favorite shows in one room and watch them in up to 6 others with the Fios multi-room DVR. This is beyond cable. This is Fios.
With Capital One Bank's free checking with rewards, me and the lads earn rewards just for everyday banking, like getting money from the drive-thru. This is the 20 I owe you.
And taking out cash at the bank.
Dad, what about my allowance?
We earn rewards just for using our debit cards.
Overnight?
You got it. Whoa.
Our business expenses earn us rewards too.
Thanks for your business.
It's free checking with rewards at Capital One Bank.
What's in your wallet? Let me do the talking.
The new 2010 Elantra should make you think Hyundai, but act now. Think class-leading interior space, Hyundai Assurance, and America's best warranty. Think efficiency. The Elantra gets 35 miles per gallon. From Hyundai, America's most fuel-efficient automaker. Think savings. Lease the Elantra for just $159 a month. Don't just think about it. Act now at your Hyundai dealer. For a short time, lease the 2010 Hyundai Elantra for just $159 a month.
Well, lots of fireworks tonight here at the stadium. The Yankees providing the offense as they win it by a score of 6-4. 6 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Yankees. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the losing Tampa Bay Rays. It's now time for the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Play of the game, Colin Curtis, 3-run home run, his second 3-run homer this spring. Ignited the Yankees there, put them ahead, and led them to the victory.
So Colin Curtis with the home run, and he didn't even start the game. Drove in 3 of the 6 Yankee runs. We'll take a look at the final totals for tonight's ball game. For the Yankees, 6 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. And for the Rays, 4 runs. They only had 6 hits, and they too made an error. The winning pitcher is David Robertson. Jeff Bennett takes the loss. The save goes to Dustin